Welcome to Wrestling Days Live. We are live for this week's Smackdown, and should be an interesting show. I've just got this gut feeling, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something... I can't put my finger on it. There's something that's suggesting something big is going to happen. I don't know if it's because we haven't really had anything big happen in a little while, so... I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. I really do feel like something is going to happen. The hacker, maybe, or something like that. I think the hacker has gone on. I don't want to say too long because I think it's fine, but there hasn't been the payoff that I've wanted with that yet. I mean, really thought we were going to be getting something. At Money in the Bank, and nothing came. So, yeah, I kind of feel like we're definitely owed something. I really feel like we're due something. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but I really feel like we're going to get something tonight. And I really hope we do. I really, really hope we do. Not loads of news for us to go through, to be honest. Not loads of things for us to discuss. We do know a few matches. And actually, tonight's lineup looks very good. It looks like we're getting AJ versus Shinsuke Nakamura in the first round of that Intercontinental Tournament. Looks like we're also getting Jeff Hardy against Sheamus, which should be a lot of fun as well. We know that we're getting Charlotte Flair versus Bayley, champion versus champion match, but I suppose the other big thing that might happen could be something to do with Sasha and Bayley and the turn and all of that. So I don't know, maybe it's that. Maybe that's why I've got this feeling. I can't, when you just get that gut feeling, the summit that's going to go down tonight. There's been a few weeks now where I've kind of finished watching SmackDown and there hasn't really been anything to do a video on or talk about. I mean, last week we got a little hacker thing. I think that was last week. Might have been Monday. But I remember that we got a little hacker video and we were kind of talking about that, but it wasn't anything major. It's just, a couple of chess pieces that, you can talk about, but it's nothing really to get excited about. Nothing like, oh, did you see what the hacker just did? Or the hacker revealed themselves, or, it was nothing along those lines. So, I kind of feel like it's time. Like either the hacker exposes some more truth, reveals themselves, Sasha turns on Bayley or something. We've got to get something tonight. So keeping them fingers crossed. But it does look like a very good show anyway. As we said, we've got those two qualifying matches for the Intercontinental Tournament. We know that we've got champion versus champion. So let's wait and see. And of course, tomorrow we've got AEW Double or Nothing. Big. There's not that many pay-per-views for AEW. They don't do one a month. They only do a few in a year. So this is quite a big deal for AEW for them to be having a pay-per-view. So yes, we are going to be covering that tomorrow. So that should be a big deal. I'm really looking forward to that. I think the card for that looks quite good as well. And what's great as well is that there's not going to be any of this nonsense of WWE versus AEW, which you get on a Wednesday, because obviously they're both on at the same time. We haven't got any of that. We can put all of our attention onto this show and just enjoy it for what it is. So, I'm looking forward to watching it as a wrestling fan. As an I like AEW as well. I think they've done a lot of good stuff. There's a few things that I definitely would tweak, but there's a few things I would definitely tweak about WWE as well. So, yeah, very much looking forward to that. So, hope everyone is okay. Shout out to everyone that's just joining us. I do need to just send out the little message that we are live, because for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't do that anymore. YouTube, for whatever reason, is really messing up at the moment when it comes to live streams. So it takes a little bit of time for people to find us. There should be as well, this coming from Triple H, there should be something to honour Shad on tonight's show. So I don't know if that's going to be the graphic at the start I don't know if that's going to be the video package. They did pull together a video package, which I believe is on their YouTube channel. So there is a Shad, like, best of moments, which, you know, I dare say they will end up playing that. I don't know if they'll do it tonight or if it's just going to be the graphic, but expect something. Coaster Maniacs says our big contest winner will be announced tomorrow at 6:30. There we go. So tomorrow, winner will be announced. Shout out to Miss Clown 1. Shout out to Robbie Fisk. Roger is here as well. Dr. Phil says, I have a feeling, because there was news, WWE cancelled a big storyline. I did see that, yes. Maybe they're waiting for the crowds to return to reveal the hacker. I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm not expecting the hacker's identity tonight. That would be a surprise. But I am wondering if they are really, like, stretching this story out longer than they planned. Maybe they're stretching it out because it's having to fill gaps. Maybe we know there was meant to be a big story running this summer, which has now been cancelled. So maybe they're stretching this hacker thing out longer than was planned. Plus also, when it comes to the reveal as to who the hacker is, I think they probably will want a crowd for that moment. So again, they're probably stretching it out. So they've got to have a date penciled as to when the crowds are going to be back. So they're probably looking at it going, right, okay, we've got to get through to July 1st. July 1st, we'll have 25 or 30% crowd capacity. That's better than nothing. Let's go for that date. Right, how do we get from here to July 1st? Right, well, they could reveal such and such here. Then they could reveal the next one there. So we're just going to have to stretch it out that week. And maybe that week there, we could drop a video package here. And I think they're doing that. So, because it feels like it's being stretched, you know? Like, they were teasing that they were going to be doing something at Money in the Bank. And there was nothing there. I mean, I think there will be a reveal about Money in the Bank. I think there's going to be a moment where a few pieces are going to fall into place, or there's something we didn't quite notice, or, you know what I mean? Like, it'll turn out they were actually at Money in the Bank or something like this. I really do feel like there's going to be a connection that we haven't quite made, or maybe haven't been able to make because we never saw the footage they're going to show us, you know? Could it be that Elias is in on it? Do you know what I mean? Maybe Elias is part of the hacking group or something like this, and so they were there because Elias was there, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that Elias is part of that group, but I'm just saying I could see there being like, we were at Money in the Bank, we were at Backlash, and there's all these little reveals like, oh, no way. So, yeah, I do think it's being stretched out. I don't think we get the reveal now. I think they're going to save it for further down the road. But it's long past due. It's long past due. If you think that last reveal was it just before WrestleMania? I think it was just before WrestleMania, wasn't it? With the whole Sonya Mandy Rose thing. So, yeah, come on. It's been a month and a half now. So, we are due this next one. Daze, do you think the hacker or Sonya will break up the relationship between Otis and Mandy? I've got to tell you, I don't like the Otis and Mandy relationship because I don't for 1 second believe the Otis and Mandy relationship. When it came to like Macho Man and Elizabeth, they were like together for a long time. They were by each other's side. And, you know, you kind of went on a journey with them for years and years and years. And if anything, they could have done a great story with Rusev and Lana. You know, Rusev and Lana being together. I mean, Lana is no Miss Elizabeth, let's put it that way. I can't imagine Miss Elizabeth doing, I'm a savage, and a booty nasty. You know, all this on TikTok. So, although maybe she would. I can't speak for Miss Elizabeth. But yeah, Miss Elizabeth and Lana are a little different. But the fact that Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man were together for so long, and then it led towards them getting married at SummerSlam and that heartfelt moment, all that kind of stuff, you know. They could have done it with Nikki and Cena. I mean, what with the whole Total Bellas, Total Divas, all that kind of stuff. They could have They could have gone down, that road. I'm sure they probably planned on doing that until they broke up. So, I kind of feel like you've got those people that have been together and you see them together a lot. I don't buy this relationship. There's something about it. I don't believe that Mandy is in love with Otis. I kind of feel like she might be giving him a bit of a chance. Like, she was like, I don't know, there's something about her. It's like, she wasn't madly in love at this stage, No, I know they're not getting married or anything like that, but I don't know, man. I can't quite believe the relationship. There's something about it. And it's not because, like, she's a gorgeous woman and he is Otis. It's nothing to do with that. I don't believe it. I don't look at him and I don't believe it. So I think they probably will end up getting broken up. I would love it if they were to find a way of making me believe it, and then we built towards a wedding or something like this. Like that'd be amazing. Like if they stay together for like say 2 years or so, and I really do start to believe that they are in a relationship and they are, the two characters really do love each other. Then it'll be amazing. It'll be absolutely incredible. And maybe that's something that Vince has got in the back of his mind. But honestly, I at this stage, I just don't believe it. And I think that's a little bit of a problem at the moment, is I don't think I'm alone. I think there's quite a few people that aren't really buying that relationship. So, I don't know. Maybe they will end up breaking up. Days, it's my first time on the channel. It would be cool if I could get a shout out. FT_OK21. We don't know what happened to OK1 through to 20. Gaming, shout out to you. FT_OK21 Gaming, shout out. Kim as well. The Hackers, Ali, Woods, Gable. And on a Hacker YouTube channel, CM Punk and AJ Lee, maybe Dana and Tucker. That is what I want. Give me what I want. Jim Gore, shout out to you. Chalmers says, maybe the Hacker's voicemail was Sasha leaving a voicemail to Charlotte. Oh, I hope so. It really, I really sounded to me like Dana Brooke. It really did. When I heard the voice and it had been amended, and I saw that clip, I mean, I heard it and I heard Dana Brooke, and the person in the clip says it sounded to them like Dana Brooke as well. If you saw that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can tweak it a little bit more. And it sounds like Ember Moon. Now, I did say this the other day, right? Just at the end of the video. What if Ember Moon's news on Backstage is a lie? What if it's a lie? What if Ember Moon having a career-ending injury is fake news, storyline, not true? I mean, it's a difficult thing to talk about because I don't want her to have a career-ending injury, right? And I don't want to be making up all these conspiracy theories in my head and throwing it out there if she is genuinely going through something that, do you know what I mean, is real and her career is over. So it's not the easiest thing to talk about. But I'm just going to throw it out there anyway because I can't help myself. But what if it is? What if she's really not got a career-ending injury? And what if that voicemail was Ember Moon? And what if she is a part of that group, knows of that group, I don't know. What if she's lying about that injury and that's a truth that they're going to look to expose? I don't know. I watched it. I believe that the injury is real. If she's lying, she's got me. I'm quite happy to admit it. Quite happy to admit it that she's fooled me. If it is a lie, but I don't know. I don't know. When you heard that female voice, it sounded like Dana. You can tweak it, and it does sound like Ember. I'm not sure it sounded like Sasha, but I mean that's the thing, isn't it? You can tweak, you can slow it down, you can change the pitch, and you can, in a way, make it sound like a few different people. So it's hard to know where the truth is in all of that. I think it's a great storyline. We've had a lot of fun with it. I just think I'm at the point now where the hacker was teasing time was up a few weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, final chance and all of this. Last chance, I think it was. Last chance the 1 week. Next week, time is up. And now it's been a couple of weeks and we haven't heard anything. So I don't know if the hacker's been on holiday. I don't know what I mean. I don't know what he's been doing, sunning himself, self-isolating or something. I mean, we are going through a lockdown. So maybe the hacker's not been allowed out the house. I don't know. But I'm at the point where I'm ready for something tonight. Give me something, baby. There's an update for the most affected apps. Trini, shout out to you. John Cena Gamer says, do you think we will see Bray Wyatt tonight? I hope so, because, again, we didn't see Bray last week. I mean, last week's show, I remember, was all right. I remember saying that was an all right show, especially considering we got no Hacker and no Bray Wyatt. So I was kind of, I don't want to say impressed with last week's show, but I thought that it was solid for considering the two biggest things they've got, in my opinion, we didn't even see. So, yeah, I'm kind of hoping that we'll get one of them tonight, something tonight. What about Mickie James? I've not seen about Mickie James. What's up with Mickie James, dude? I haven't seen. I did. I mean, I've had a look around. I got to be honest. I went to bed real late, because after I finished the SummerSlam watch along yesterday, we did a SummerSlam 94 watch along to everyone that joined us on that. Really appreciate it. I loved it. I loved the show. Alondra Blaze Bull Nakano was as great as I remember. The Undertaker entrance was as great as I remember. Owen Brett was longer than I remember. I'm not going to lie. It was longer than I remember. I still appreciate it being a great match. Loved the Hart family at ringside and all of that. So, I mean, look, there was tons to talk about, and it was a pleasure to revisit. So, really did enjoy that. But as soon as that finished, I started editing the Wrestling Escape Pod. So we've got a brand new Wrestling Escape Pod episode. It's going to look at the best wrestling entrance stages. That is going to be on after we finish the stream tonight. So best wrestling entrance stages is the Wrestling Escape Pod that we've got later. And I think this is a really good one for YouTube because obviously we talk about loads. We go through 20 different stages or whatever. Loads of images that you get to see from shows that I'm sure you're aware of. Some you might not be aware of. Yeah, it's good. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's coming up. But it took me hours to edit that, find the pictures that I needed, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I didn't go to bed till quite late, which obviously meant I then got up quite late. And as a result, I've had a good look all around Twitter, and I've gone through my notifications, and I've tried to see if there's any news and anything that I needed to kind of draw your attention to. I know what's happening on the show tonight. We've already touched on that. But as I said, there's not really any massive news. There's not really anything that I've seen that's been, do you know what I mean? Like, wow, we really need to cover this on the show. So, I mean, look, we're never going to be stuck for things to talk about because the wacky world of wrestling has got plenty for us to get our teeth into. But yeah, a bit of a slower day. But honestly, after the heartbreaking news we had the other day, obviously regarding Shad, I'll take a slower day. I'll definitely take a slower day. Dave's random question: who do you think is the tag team of the year? Let me know in the chat. I always like to have one question, and I think that could be a good one. What is the tag team of the year so far? I mean, honestly, we haven't seen my favorite match of the year. If it was the end of the year right now, if everyone decided that's it for 2020, we've had enough, right? We've had enough. Tomorrow we're just going to start with 2021. We'll go January 1st tomorrow. So if we were just going to call it a day on the year, my favorite match would be Kenny Omega, Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks at AEW Revolution. I thought that match, Meltzer gave it 6 stars. It's his highest rated tag match ever. And I thought it was absolutely stunning. So I think if you're going to talk tag teams, I've got to be looking at them because they've just given me my favorite match of the year so far. And I don't know if that match gets beaten, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I love that match. Haven't seen much of the Bucks. Haven't seen much of Hangman. So, do you know what I mean? I'm only going to give it to them for that one match, really. But the storyline's been great about Hangman potentially leaving and the fallout with the Elite, and that has been very, very interesting. I'm not a fan of Miz and Morrison. I don't think that Miz and Morrison to me are entertaining. The dirt sheets that I've seen have never really caught my attention. I'm not feeling it. I think what they're doing with Viking Raiders is wrong. I think that they're not meant to be in these kind of comedy bits, but they've taken them that way. So that's a bit of a shame. I mean, they were such a team in New Japan. They were known as the War Raiders, and like, you know what I mean? They were one of the biggest tag teams. And now they're the Viking Raiders, and they're doing silly little things, and I don't know, it's just not working. Street Profits are all right. Love Kabuki Warriors. I mean, love Kabuki Warriors, but I don't know if I could say they were tag team of the year. Don't know if I could go that way. I do love Kabuki Warriors. Maybe I could, because really, what competition is there? I mean, New Day have been without Xavier, and they've been all right, but they've not really set the world on fire. I don't know. I think it's really tough, you know. I think that's a great question. Undisputed Era, I mean, Matt Riddle, Broserweights, but yeah, I mean, Broserweights got together, but they're not a real team, are they? Do you know what I mean? They're not a real team. They just got together for the Dusty Cup, won the titles. I suppose they have done really well, but then obviously it all fell apart. What with Pete not being around, I'm not a fan of single stars getting together. Don't know. Yeah, Broserweights would have to be in with a shout, but I think that would be a sorry state of affairs if the Broserweights were the best tag team. You know, I kind of feel like the best tag team should be a tag team, which is why I suppose I'd be looking at Young Bucks. I mean, I suppose Kabuki Warriors in a way are two single stars that have been put together, but at least they've been together for a while, the Kabuki Warriors. So, interesting. I mean, we could debate. I mean, there's not been any wrestling over in New Japan, so I can't really include anyone there. Otherwise, I'd definitely be talking about Roppongi 3K. Because I think they're awesome in New Japan. Oh, I can't wait to see what some of you guys have come up with. Jamie says, Otis got the girl and Days still got Mama Days. Well, I know who's winning there, my friend. I know who's winning there. Everyone who's joining us, hey Days, shout out who is pumped for Smackdown. Shout out to everyone who's joining us. Jonathan says there's Monday Night Nitro live special show. What, has that been announced? Are they doing a Monday Night Nitro? Or is that something you would like to see? Because either way, it sounds great. Either way, I'm on board. It sounds really cool. Terror Schism 999 says, years of experience editing podcasts. I'll be willing to help you out for free. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the support. It takes a while. It definitely takes a while. It's not anything that hard. It's just finding the images that I need and things like that. You know, there's like I'll give you a bit of an insight. There's a bit where I'm talking to Tommy, and we're talking about Raws in the UK. And I told him that I was, and this is a true story as well, I was actually shown on a Raw in 2008. Okay? So in 2008, I went to my very first Raw. I'd never been to one before. And in 2008, I go to Raw. And obviously, this is 8 years before Wrestling Days channel starts. So I'm with a friend. I've got a big Union Jack hat on. Way! Having a great time and everything. And I had no idea that they had actually shown me on the show. Not a clue. Not a clue. But it was years later when I was on the network, and I've come to realize now, because I can't remember if I watched the Raw back or if I saw a trailer for the forthcoming UK tournament. I can't remember where I actually saw it, but I saw the clip of me. But I saw the clip of me like years and years and years later. Years and years and years later. I had no idea they'd even filmed it. But I saw this little clip of me. So I had to see if I could try and find that. So it's not getting the pictures, it's more finding them. And I do find it. So you will see that tonight on the Wrestling Escape Pod. You will see me in a Union Jack hat from 2008, celebrating in the O2 Arena, going to my first Raw, which is really cool because I don't have a picture of it. So thanks, WWE. Appreciate that. And then Tommy mentioned that he'd been at Money in the Bank and they'd shown him. So then I had to go and try and find that. And I do find it. And that's fun as well. So yeah, I am looking forward to tonight's Wrestling Escape Pod. We always have a lot of fun with that. William Hensey says, who do you see facing Strowman now that he retained and no sign of the Fiend? I think it will be the Fiend, but I think that we have just given Bray a break. Do you know what I mean? I think Bray very much at the end of Money in the Bank was surprised. Funhouse Bray, I think, was surprised that he could not get Braun to surrender, or he couldn't beat Braun. And we got that little tease where the Fiend image just flashed up, and you just saw Funhouse Bray just staring at Braun. Everything suggests the Fiend is coming. Everything suggests the Fiend is coming. But yeah, I don't think there was a need to pull the trigger last week. But it could be, it could be they leave it this week, throw you off the scent, start getting people to ask those kind of questions. Boom. Lights out. Fiend attack. There's your match. I fully expect Fiend versus Braun for Backlash, which in all fairness is only a couple of weeks away. So it could be this week, maybe next week, but I'm expecting that match. Bembo Gaming says, Days, what do you think the Hacker will do tonight? Well, hard to know if we see the Hacker. I said when I first started the stream tonight, I've just got this feeling. I can't shake it. I really feel that something big is going to go down. Something's going to happen. I think it's because nothing did last week. There wasn't really any big talking points last week. Was it the Iconics slapped each other? And I think Charlotte got in the ring with Sasha and Bayley, and there was a few matches. Drew in a match against someone, King Corbin. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was a solid show last week, and I remember praising it, saying, considering they didn't have the Fiend or Bray, and considering they didn't do anything with the Hacker, they actually did quite well. But they need it now. They need it now. They've got to do something tonight. So, might be Bray, might be the Hacker, might be both, might be neither. I really hope it's not neither, though. I really hope it's not neither. Shout out to Green Yellow Army. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Sean says, Tag Team of the Year for me is the Revival / the Revolt / FTR because of their wanting to change the way the tag teams are presented. Their unwillingness to change their viewpoint and leaving WWE. Do you know what? That's a fantastic answer. That's a fantastic answer. I love that. I might agree. Because it takes real guts to leave the biggest company in the world, wrestling-wise, on principle. And that's what they've done. They got offered big contracts. They got told they could be tag champs again. You got to remember as well that if you're like 4-time, 5-time tag champs, you can dine out on that for a long, long time. You know what I mean? Like, you can go to fan conventions for quite a while as the Revival, Do you know what I mean? And charge people to get your autographs and everything because you are 5-time SmackDown champs. You're the Revival. Had some great matches, loved by Jim Cornette and all this kind of stuff, like for being the real deal. So you can dine out on that for a bit. So to walk away from not only money, but more potential success and achievements and just the exposure that you get from being on WWE. Whatever company you go to, you're getting less exposure. It doesn't matter what company you go to. There's no one that's got the reach that WWE have got. So I would have to agree. For them to say, we don't care about having another run, we want a change to how tag team wrestling is presented, I completely agree. That's a really good shout, Sean. Shout out to you. Really good shout. Coaster Maniac says, Days, when do you think we will see the 24/7 title again? Yeah, that's another good point, isn't it? I mean, I should imagine that Gronkowski's got a lot on because he's decided to go back to football, and I think Tampa? So it is tricky because, I mean, I'm guessing he's in meetings. I'm guessing he's getting sponsorship deals. I'm guessing he is meeting up with teammates and practicing, and do you know what I mean? He's got a lot on his plate. So when can he defend that 24/7? I mean, it's not going to take too long, is it? Just for him to get blindsided. But I think the interesting thing here is it does present a very interesting opportunity. Now, I don't think there's a need for WWE to quickly race in and get the title back, because it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. You can't really do anything with the 24/7 title at the moment because you can't have large groups of people going after it anyway. So a large part of the appeal of the title is redundant, So yeah, I kind of feel that what they're doing is they're waiting for an opportunity. It could be that after a game, once a game is finished or at halftime or something like this, in front of the cameras, in front of a crowd, it could be that there is some moment like that. It's got, if they can get it cleared with Tampa and they can get it cleared with Gronkowski, look, this is what we're going to do. Then I think there's a good opportunity there for them to do something which I don't think they ever expected to be able to do, So it's quite cool. It's quite exciting. Mike says, Days, do you think Bray Wyatt will see Braun tonight? Could do. I do expect that to be the match. Fiend versus Braun. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Trini. I know who's going to challenge Braun. It's that B, Carol Baskin. Oh, don't get me started on Carol Baskin. Don't get me started on her. Days, why are WWE booking good matches on a B show pay-per-view? They don't really have B show pay. Well, they do, but they don't. They can't really afford to see them as B shows because each month is another month you've got to convince people to stick with the network. So what it means now is that each pay-per-view is it's quite important. It's kind of a little bit different to back in the day where you would just lower the price. We've spoken a lot about In Your House recently because of the NXT announcement. And we've been saying that, like, back in the day in 95, Royal Rumble would have cost you $30. SummerSlam would have cost you $30. WrestleMania, probably a bit more. But In Your House was $15 because you knew the matches weren't going to be the same quality. And you also knew that it wasn't going to be as long. It was only 2 hours rather than 3. So the B shows were priced as B shows, but it doesn't work anymore because now every month is $9.99. So it doesn't matter if you're getting SummerSlam, a Royal Rumble, Backlash. It doesn't matter anymore. It's still the same price every month. So they've got to make sure they're still giving you the best matches they can. They've got to. Because people will unsubscribe and there's no guarantee they'll come back for SummerSlam. Once they're gone, you don't know that you can get them back. So, yeah, it's important that they keep the momentum going and they keep the train chugging along, you know. I really want them to do another impressive match. I really want them to do another match like inside there. I loved that headquarters match. There was a couple of things I would definitely change. I thought the doink thing was a bit... It wasn't doink, and I don't know why they were trying to convince us it was. I also wondered why there was an Undertaker room. Thought that was a little bit strange. Like, it just didn't make sense. Unless... well, no, it just didn't make sense. So I didn't like that. So, yeah, look, there's a couple of things I would change. But as a form of entertainment, as a form of sitting down, there was so much I loved about it. So much I loved about it. So, yeah, I really want them to do something along those lines. We had the Boneyard. We had the Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania. We got the Money in the Bank inside the headquarters. What do we get at Backlash? What do they give us at Backlash? There's got to be something. It's got to be something. The Pickle One says, Days, did you see the NXT and AEW ratings? I did. I'm not surprised. I think wrestling without a crowd has been shown to be not successful by and large. I mean, where they should be getting 700,000-800,000. They're now struggling to get 600,000. I think AEW got about that, and I think NXT got 545 or something. NXT is behind, and NXT has got to do something to move ahead. NXT has got to do something to regain that momentum, which is why we were saying the person that should have attacked Finn should have been Kevin Owens, should have been Triple H, should have been someone that's actually got a name, not Damian Priest, because Damian Priest as the reveal just makes people go, okay. Right, so they're doing a feud between Damian Priest and... Okay. Like, that's the reaction. Do you know what I mean? You don't jump onto Twitter and go, ah, guess who's back? Do you know what I mean? And if it had been Kevin Owens, what a way to have brought Owens back. That would have been a hell of a lot better than just a graphic that we saw the other day on Raw and a Kevin Owens show. Imagine if he got brought back as the person that had attacked Finn. I think that would have at least brought another name to NXT, would have woken up, like, you know, the brand, got a bit of buzz generated. And I totally understand, and I've said it before. I know that people are going to say, no, NXT is for the next generation. But is it? Is it? I keep saying, like, NXT doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it the third brand that is competing against AEW? Is it the third brand that has now got a TV deal, right? Is it the third brand that's got Finn Balor on the roster, Charlotte Flair as a champion, yeah? Is it the third brand? Or is it developmental? Because you can't have both. You can't be a third brand that competes with AEW, yet still be a developmental system and bring in through the new talent that no one knows or cares about. Like, it takes time to care about people. Not everyone's going to have the instant impact that, say, Dexter Lumis has had. But even Dexter Lumis isn't someone that people are necessarily tuning in on a Wednesday for. You need names. You need people that we care about, you know? So that's my thoughts. My thoughts are that you look at AEW, they've got Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake Roberts, Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Brody Lee, formerly known as Luke Harper, Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger, Dustin Rhodes, formerly known as Gold Dust. Do you know what I mean? They've got a few new faces in there, but the good chunk of that card is people that you know. NXT just doesn't compare. It's not even close. Even the names like Johnny Gargano, we've said before NXT went onto the USA Network, how would anyone have heard of Johnny Gargano? How would any casual fan have found out about Johnny Gargano? He was on Raw a couple of weeks. That was it. Has he been in a Rumble? Maybe. Once. I mean, do you know what I mean? How would anyone have heard of Johnny Gargano? I think some of the wrestling fans would have, and I think that he is definitely a draw and a great talent. but he's not going to be bringing people in like Kevin Owens would, or a Finn Balor would, or even, dare I say, a Miz would. Do you know what I mean? Or something along those lines. I only say Miz because he's on my TV right now. But John Morrison should have gone to NXT. I said that's the brand I would put him on. I would have put him on NXT. So, yeah, I just think there's a bit of confusion as to what they want to do with it. And I think until they work that out, because again, you know, they include it in Survivor Series, NXT. They have them going into the Royal Rumble, but then there's only one match at WrestleMania, and there's no matches at the moment at Backlash. And they've got their own pay-per-view. So they just, yeah, it's so confusing. Confusing. See you in How Yowie says, what's your thoughts on Jim Cornette bashing Becky? Well, my thoughts are that there's a little bit of truth in both, because I do think that she is a young woman, and if she wants to have a family, who's going to stop her? I don't disagree with that. I mean, I don't know who would, right? So I've got no issue with that. But I do equally understand that if she has signed a 3-year contract saying, I'm going to work for you for the next 3 years, give me the belt, give me the storylines, let's work towards WrestleMania, put me on your posters, make figures of me, make posters of me, do all that, yeah, invest in me, because for the next 3 years, I'm yours, yeah? And then during that, she goes, no, I'm having a baby, bye. I mean, it's a difficult one because it's life. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I suppose in a way, this is something we've not really encountered before. They did encounter it with Karma. Do you remember Karma was in? And they were going to give her a big push, and she was going to be, she's known as Awesome Kong now. But Karma was like meant to get this big push and everything. But she got pregnant, and then they do you know what I mean? Like all her momentum went, and that was that. She obviously had never established herself like Becky had. So I think it'll be easier for Becky to come back when she does, and you know, kind of carry on and whatever. It's Becky's decision. Do you know what I mean? It's Becky's decision. If she's got to the point where now's the right time for her to have a family and she's decided to go for it, then so be it. But I can understand the criticism. You know, I don't want to sound mean, but as I just said, I can understand it, because if you say, I'm yours for 3 years, then surely you honor that. And then once your contract's done, then you go and have your family. Unless there's something in the, I don't know, like, could it be that she's had it now because WWE will pay for the medicals? Whereas when a contract's done, she's going to have to pay for the medicals. See, this is a whole side of the contract stuff that I don't quite fully, I don't know what her contract looks like, you know. But just as an outsider looking in, I can kind of see both sides. But yeah, as I said, without knowing what the details of her contract look like, I couldn't say. But I wish her all the best, of course I do. And you could tell that I think it was a genuine difficult decision for her. I don't think that she's done it to upset anyone or take the mick, or, do you know what I mean? Like, I think she wants a family. She's having a family now, and you could see like that she was saying this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Because it is. I mean, she'd won that title at WrestleMania. She was the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion, and it ends by her just walking away, which on one hand is quite cool to say you were never beaten, because then you can come back and say, no one ever beat me for it, you know? Puts you right back up there again, doesn't it? So I get it on that point of view, but you do look at it and go, well, it's a bit of a shame, because in wrestling, the tradition is you put someone over, you know? We've said, look at the people when their careers are over. Kurt Angle put over Baron Corbin, and Ric Flair didn't really put over Shawn, but that's the tradition, isn't it? You know, you lose on your way out. So in a way, it's I suppose a bit of a surprise that she didn't lose on her way out. But again, these are uncharted waters because how often is it that someone has got pregnant whilst they've been under contract? It's surprising it's not happened more, but it will happen more in the future. And so I think WWE are now going to be maybe looking at how they deal with that in the future. So, yeah, I could kind of... to be honest, I haven't heard exactly what Cornette has said. So I don't want to sit here defending his words because I don't know exactly word for word what he said. I just heard that he was critical because she was under contract and she's breached that contract. But as I said, I'm pleased for her. I'm pleased for her as well. Days, who is your favourite wrestler on SmackDown? Asuka. Is she on SmackDown? Oh, do I even care? No, she's on Raw, isn't she? She was on both when she was tag champ. But yeah, no, she's on Raw. Probably Fiend. I don't know. I don't know if there's... I really like Bayley. I like Bayley's heel turn. I think Bayley's heel turn is has been quite a success because I always felt that Bayley was the next big thing to come through. When she was down... You see, when she was down in NXT, she had such a connection with kids. And, I mean, you look at that and go, well, that's perfect. That's exactly what WWE want. Someone that the kids absolutely love. She could be the female John Cena. I mean, she can wrestle. We saw that match against Sasha at TakeOver. She carries herself really well. She had the wacky inflatable men. Kids loved her. She was all about the hug life. I was like, man, this girl could be a big, big deal. And it didn't quite land for whatever reason. I mean, it was all right. It was good. I would say that she was a success, but not to the level that I was expecting. And yeah, it got to the point where she turned heel. I was surprised they did it, but I've got to say, I think it's been a success. I love the fact that she talks to Michael Cole, telling him to shut up or watch this, or like her interactions are really good. Her match quality, I think, is really strong. We saw that against Tamina. Like, she had a decent match against Tamina, which is not an easy thing to do because Tamina's not the greatest worker. But I thought Bayley actually did really, really well. So I feel like her match quality is good. I think that she's got an interesting dynamic with Sasha. There's clearly something going to happen there. I love how she trash talks Michael Cole in particular. And I think it's been decent. She's still not like this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's like this mega star and Becky level and all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to take a bit of time and a bit of work. But honestly, if you'd have said to me a few years ago, what do you think would happen if they turned Bayley heel? I would have said, no, that'd be awful. But it hasn't. It's been all right. Sean says, Becky's inevitable return could possibly be the biggest return of a female superstar in history. She is primed to be the largest female star WWE has ever had. I would agree with that. I think the fact that she didn't lose the title is going to help her because she can come back as I was undefeated. That's my belt. I want my belt back kind of a thing. I think the fact she won the main event of WrestleMania and how historic and iconic that was. Becky 2 belts. I mean, she's still riding the love people have got from when she broke her nose and was cheated out of Survivor Series by Nia Jax. And I don't think we've ever had that match one-on-one, I don't think Nia's ever really faced Becky one-on-one following that incident. So, and then, of course, you've got Ronda and the whole story that can be told there. So I think what Becky's got in her favour is just so many different stories and angles and moving parts. And even this mother thing, which is so different. As I said, I can't remember this happening before other than Karma. I can't remember of someone that's had to step away because of pregnancy. But so different, and there's such goodwill towards her that I agree. I think when she does come back, it's going to be a big moment, big moment. Wrestling Days fan chanting Becky. Becky didn't lose the title; she gave it up. True. I would like Nia versus Becky, says John. What do you think of Jazz as a wrestler? I thought Jazz was quite good. She was seen some of her matches on NWA not too long ago, and she was decent. She was good. I mean, obviously, I saw her when she was competing in her heyday, but she was competing for the NWA just the other year, and she was still very good in the ring. So yeah, good. That's J12 says, I think the hacker is Ali. He said that he will see the light in 2020, so he could bring the light to SmackDown. Amanda says, do you think Cassius Ohno will be at Double or Nothing? Do you know what? I never considered that. Shout out to Amanda Catherine. That's a really good shout. I never considered that. In my head, I was thinking Drew Gulak. There's been a lot of talk about Brian Cage. Obviously, at the moment, there's a lot of talk about Sting, but I never considered Cassius Ohno, so I can't see why not. He's a legend, he's a brilliant wrestler. He knows so much. I'd love to see him against Kenny. Chris Hero versus Kenny. Do you know what? You might have called that. I did not consider that at all. Monica King says, I feel like they can't bring Ronda back into the picture if they choose to without Becky. Well, I think they could, because I think that what you might get is the 4 horsewomen running riot. So imagine Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey all joining forces and dominating now. Because who's going to stop them? Because Bayley, Charlotte, and Sasha together are no match for the 4 horsewomen. They need the 4th horsewoman. So why not bring Ronda back? Why not tell a story around Survivor Series where, I don't know, maybe Bayley, Sasha, and Charlotte have to recruit a new member because they can't have Becky because she's off. So they bring someone in. Say they bring in Ruby Riott or someone like that. But it doesn't work. The 4 horsewomen, the MMA horsewomen win. Charlotte's devastated. Sasha, Bayley, they don't know what to do. There's lots of singles matches. They do all right in singles matches, but when it comes to those big 4-on-4s or whatever, they just cannot find the missing piece. They cannot find that missing part of the puzzle. You get to Royal Rumble and... they're all in the Rumble and they get eliminated by the Horsemen. All this, and then Becky comes back. Becky comes back in the build towards WrestleMania, the missing piece of the puzzle. And then the match at Mania could be the 4-on-4. And finally, the WWE Horsewomen are back to full strength for the first time. And that'd be epic. That would be epic. That could be your main event. Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and the return of Becky taking on Marina Shafir, Jessamine Duke, who could have a run with the tag titles by that point. So they're established. Shayna's already established. Ronda's already established. Done. Start printing the money. Zack Ryder for AEW. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not as excited about that because I don't know. I'm just not. I mean, I look at Jake Hager and I don't feel like he's quite landing. I don't feel like people are getting that excited about Jake Hager. I feel like Goldust as well. I mean, Goldust's a bit different. Dustin Rhodes is a bit different because he is Cody's brother and they can tell some great stories. He's been a legend. He's towards the end. They're talking about retirement. They've spoken about retirement quite a few times. So I kind of feel like he is working, but I don't know if it didn't have the emotion of him being a Rhodes and if he was Cody's brother and all of that. I don't know. I just kind of look at Zack Ryder and I don't see great matches. I don't know. I don't see great matches. I just see a friend that they've brought in. Whereas Chris Hero, you're going to get great matches. You're going to... I don't care for Kenny versus Zack Ryder. I do care for Kenny versus Chris Hero. Those matches would be next level insane. So, Chris Hero is so good that they took him to NXT UK to work with the talent there. And if you actually follow his Twitter account, all he does is send out tweets about wrestling. Just like how to do different wrestling moves and the origins of them and the differences between the different holds and the little subtleties and things like this. He is a wrestling tactician. And one of the accounts I really enjoy visiting on Twitter. So if you really do like wrestling, yeah, I'm not talking about sports entertainment, but actually the different holds, the reversals, how to get into them, how to escape from them, all that kind of stuff, then Chris Hero's Twitter account is very good. So is Catcher's Catch Can wrestling account. I think it's just called Catcher's Catch Wrestling. That's a good account. And there was another one as well, but I can't quite remember it. If you follow the Wrestling Days one, I do retweets of them every now and again. Ono versus Volta was great. Which next opponent do you think will let the Fiend in? And do you think Otis will become Universal Champ? I don't know if WWE know if he'll be champ yet, to be honest. I don't know if they know. I think they put the title on him because of how great the storyline was with him and Mandy and WrestleMania. And I think it connected. And I think that the views on those clips and the engagement and the fact that Otis was trending and, you know, they get to see all of that information. So I don't know. I think it might have taken them a bit of, but there's no way when they brought up Heavy Machinery, they were like, this is our guy. We're going to push this guy. No way. They've got him into a story. It's really caught fire. It's done really well. And I think they've gone, well, let's do it. Let's give him Money in the Bank and let's see. But the job they've got now is to look at, well, what do we do? What do we do? I mean, he doesn't need to cash in anytime soon, and I'm not expecting him to. If he cashed in, even within the next few months, it's too soon. I would not have him cashing in until 2021. I would have him carrying that briefcase for a long time. He needs to establish himself. He needs to really, you know, maybe even have some matches where he might lose the briefcase, defend the briefcase or something like this, you know. So I would really take him on a journey. And I think it all depends how people react to that journey. If people are on board, if people are like, if there's Otis chants and people are buying his merch and the YouTube vids are getting crazy views, then yes, Otis wins. If not, and people just don't care, no, Otis won't be Universal Champ. So he's got an opportunity, but he's got to make it work now because I think now it's in the balance. I don't think there's a plan where, yeah, they're going to put the title on him. So watch this space. That's what I would say. Watch this space. Shout out as well to the Insiders who did great hot tag with Brandy talking about The Undertaker. I was listening to that whilst I was setting the stream up. I want to make sure that I'm shouting out the Insiders. So shout out to the Insiders. And as we said, we got Wrestling Escape Pod coming up after this. You know that anyway. You know that it's every Friday night after SmackDown. The podcast that I do with Tommy Toy Travels on YouTube. And each week's just on a different subject. So you can go back and we've done one on wrestling figures and WrestleMania and biggest disappointments and best theme music. Well, tonight is best wrestling entrance stages. So I show the images and we talk about them and yeah, we have a laugh. We just have a laugh. I think it's about 55 minutes tonight. So, but that's later. That's later. We're going to focus on the now. Beep away. Beep away. Bop, 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 bop. Right. Smackdown. They didn't volunteer to die. They volunteered to defend values. Ronald Reagan. What is this? Is it some kind of Memorial Day? I don't know what this is. Is it a special day in America? Is it Memorial Day or something? Boop, 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 boop. Okay, this weekend we honor them. So it must be what? Memorial Weekend? It's very cool that WWE do this. Very, very cool. So we're just looking at images from various wars. Monday is Memorial Day. Thank you. So, yeah, just seeing, as you said, just images from various conflicts. I would imagine after this there'll be a graphic for Shad. That's what I would think. It's not Monday yet. Yeah, but I suppose this is the closest SmackDown, isn't it? And they'll definitely still want to mention it. This weekend, we show our gratitude. Days, what are you watching SmackDown on? BT Sport, my friend. BT Sport. BT Sport. Okay, we have begun. We've just got a nice little video package. It's, you know, very important to remember. On this weekend, we say thank you. They are very good at this. Very, very good at this. Right. No graphic for Shad so far. I don't know if we'll get one in a minute or if there'll be a video package. Triple H has already said they're doing something. So even if there's not a graphic at the start, there'll be a video package later. They'll do something. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Is tonight the night that Sasha turns on Bayley? It's been a long road. I would hope so. I said at the start, I've just got this feeling, and I've still got it. I've still got this feeling that something's going to go down. Mainly because we didn't get a great deal last week. So we didn't get the hacker. We didn't get Bray. So... And it's a good lineup tonight. AJ and Nakamura. Jeff Hardy taking on Sheamus. Charlotte versus Bayley. Champion versus champion. NXT Women's Champ versus SmackDown Women's Champ. This is like something you'd get from... I mean, this is a great match. It doesn't matter when you do it, but Charlotte Bayley is a great match. Mandy and Otis taking on Dolph and Sonya. So, mixed tag match tonight. The dirt sheet. Okay, so we're starting with the dirt sheet. So Miz says, I refuse to acknowledge that I live in a world where this man is Mr. Money in the Bank. Team Bad will reunite. That might be a good use for Naomi. I'm surprised Bayley is still champion. I think it's been I think she's done all right. I wouldn't take that title off her. Even when she feuds with Sasha, I wouldn't take the title off her. DJ B Tazzy, shout out to you. Someone tell Charlotte that Survivor Series isn't until November. Both of these are in their wrestling attire, so these two are ready to have a match. So I'm guessing that that's going to come next. Braun Strowman has been given too much credit. He doesn't deserve to be champion. So we've got Miz and Morrison sitting on chairs in the ring. And I've said before, the dirt sheet just does not land with me. And this is not landing with me either. Right, a dirt sheet exclusive. They found some Funhouse puppets that Bray rejected. Shiloh. Shiloh, the lonely laundry lass. Shiloh. Dookie the diaper boy. It's Memorial Day weekend. Shout out to you, Eric. No tribute. There'll be one later. That's not a mannequin. Mandy Quinn Rose. It's all right. Cringe. Here comes Braun. I feel like, do you know what? That's all right. It's all right. I'm gonna give him a bit of credit there because for some reason the dirt. I don't like the dirt sheet and I don't know why. But it does. I don't watch it and it doesn't make me laugh. But I think on paper, that idea would be really good. How about we do a little bit where we make fun of the puppets and we come up with our own puppets? Like, I can see that working. But actually, just watching it, for some reason, it didn't. I don't know why. Strowman coming into the ring and roaring and Miz and Morrison backing away. I kind of feel like this is aimed at children. Do you know what I mean? I think if you're like 5, you're probably absolutely loving this. Braun says, you're kind of funny. Your show's hot, not bad. Wonder what this match is going to be. I think Otis is going to come out. Maybe. Well, we saw that last week, didn't we? Miz says, you actually think Bray is done with you? Days, I think that Vince will postpone SummerSlam till September when we have crowds again. There are rumours of that happening, yes. There are rumours of it being pushed back. So Morrison saying to Braun, you'll never be the man that Miz is. John Morrison saying that you wouldn't cope one-on-one against The Miz. And The Miz is trying to get him to shut up. So it is going to be Braun versus Miz. But Morrison is ready to compete as well. Okay, Strowman versus Miz. Great. What's your favourite? What's the favourite common figure? What do you mean by common figure? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean like widely available? Well, probably that Finn Balor. That's one of my. I think it is my favourite ever figure, that Ultimate Edition. But I don't know. Maybe that was too expensive. Do you know what? That's a tough question off the top of my head to think of, because I'm just thinking of loads of different ones. That's a tough one. I'd have to think about it. Days, how can you have 4 horsewomen against 4 horsewomen? Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke are terrible. I think they would be all right as a tag team. We haven't seen a great deal of them. So obviously we're not seeing them at the moment because of COVID and they self-isolating and all that kind of stuff. So they're not being used. But I actually think, I mean, they're not brilliant. I'm not going to lie. They're not brilliant. But I have seen them compete, and I've seen them compete live as well. And they're not awful. They're not awful either, because I've seen them compete live in Tampa at a house show, and they held their own. It was. I saw Shayna, Marina, and Jessamine. So I've actually seen a match that had 3 of the 4 horse. There was only Ronda missing. So I've seen 3 of the 4 horsewomen taking on Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. That was the match. That was the main event. And of when I went to this house show in Tampa, and it was a good match. They held their own. So I think with a bit more experience, give them the tag titles, put them in some high-profile matches, just keep working with them. And yes, they'll be the weakest part of 4 horsewomen. But I think they should be, by the time we get there, at a point where they're passable, where they can do a job. They can take some bumps, you know, and they won't look too out of place. Miz is going to get fed to Braun. Yes, he is. Days, do you celebrate Memorial Day? I don't believe so. I've not heard anything about it being. I've not heard about there being a celebration on Monday for us in the UK. So I think it's an American thing. But honestly, I don't interact much with the news. I mean, my life is wrestling news and the wrestling world. So yeah, I don't really get a chance to really see what's happening. I obviously try to keep an eye on what's happening with coronavirus and all that kind of stuff. But no, I think it's an American thing. Michael says, Days, what did Hulk Hogan ask in arts and crafts class? What you gonna glue, brother? Michael moments are back. Shout out to you, Michael. Shout out to you. Right, we are underway. We're also 14 minutes into this show. Strowman versus Miz. Boom. Shout out to KJ. Shout out to you, Josh. Tony R says, I've seen a grandmother, mother. Oh, I need to read that. I only got so far with that comment. What have you seen? What have you seen? You've seen a grandmother and a mother. And her daughter. Oh, okay, no way did I expect this comment to go that way. I didn't expect that comment to end that way. I'm still going to read it. Tony R says, I've seen a grandmother, a mother, and her daughter stripping on the same stage. Well, there we go. I'm so pleased that I started reading that one. To share that with the community. Sounds like a fun Friday night. It sounds like you're having a lot more fun than watching the dirt sheet. Even Asuka's dancing. Wow, that's big. Asuka, why are you so big? Let's shrink her down, shall we? There we go. William Hensey says, Days, what if the Fiend appears and helps Braun? Well, that'll be the only way out of this for me. Is to have a Fiend attack, and I'm hoping that that's what we get. Although, I'm a bit confused as to why Morrison is ready to compete. Kind of suggests that someone's going to come down and then we get a tag or something like this. Or Morrison's going to have a match with whoever comes down, so maybe not the Fiend. Look, Morrison already getting involved, kicking Braun on the outside. Miz sliding out the ring. Going over to Braun. Braun grabbing Miz. Shoving Miz down. Braun charging into Miz. Miz moving out the way. And Braun goes into the ring post. Braun rolling back into the ring. Morrison coming round. Cheering on the Miz. Miz looking for a springboard double axe handle. And Braun goes down. Holds onto that top rope. Manages to stay on his feet. Another springboard double axe handle, but this time Braun picking up the Miz. The Miz managing to escape, though, into the corner. Big boot. As Braun went running over. Duck underneath by the Miz. Miz against the ropes. Drop kick to the legs. Braun goes down. Kick to the arm as well. Wasn't the head. He didn't touch the head. He was nowhere near the head. And he was trying to get a DDT, but Strowman blocked it. Miz gets driven back to the corner and then hurled across the ring. Hard. And Braun collides into the Miz. Big strike to Morrison. Morrison goes down. Braun picks up Miz. Hurls him down. And look at Braun. Braun waiting for Miz to get up. Scoops Miz up. He's got Miz on his shoulder, runs. Power slam. And that'll be it. Strowman with the win. Here is your winner. Done. That didn't stay very long, did it? Down, 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 down. Just seeing the Miz getting thrown around. And I love it when they do that as well. When they pin them and they use their forearm to turn their faces. I don't know why. I just really, really like that. So Strowman victorious. Big smile on his face. Miz down in the ring. Not sure where Morrison is. Oh, Morrison. Here we go. At Backlash. A handicap match. At Backlash. I don't understand. At Backlash, it's going to be Braun versus Miz and Morrison. Who wants that? I don't get it. I don't understand. That's horrible. That's one of the worst ideas anyone's ever had. So, of course, it's happening. Right, it says that's the Universal Championship story. What an awful story. Honestly, if someone was reading that to me as a bedtime story, I'd be going to sleep crying. We're turning our attention to the Intercontinental Championship. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Winner will face Daniel Bryan. AJ and Nakamura. Winner will go on to face someone who I didn't see and can't remember. Elias. Days, this makes no sense. It's horrible. It's awful. It's depressing. Just look up a bad word and use that. No one wants that match. Literally no one. It's got no heat, no intrigue, nothing. Even if Otis comes down and cashes in, I'm not going to be excited because it's too soon. Way too soon for Otis to cash in. Ugh. Who's going to buy that show to see that match? Literally no one. Well, at least Asuka's happy. Run over. Coastamaniac says Fiend could cost Braun. What would happen then? Because apparently it's... I don't even understand what happens. What? We've got co-champions. What? Does it come down to whoever gets the pin? What? I don't understand. Miz and Morrison, are they not going to be fighting each other if it comes down to whoever gets the pin? What? Have you heard about Ric Flair and AEW? No. William Hensey says, will we even see The Fiend tonight? I don't know. Doesn't look that way at the moment, does it? Looks like Bray's self-isolating in the funhouse. The Fiend will return to help Braun, but then will turn on him. What did they do to get a title shot? It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. I just don't get it. These days, you just have to rock up and go, defend your title against us, and the champs go, all right. Go on then. I'm not doing anything. I mean, is there not like a mandatory number one contender? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. Are we honestly saying there's no one on the SmackDown roster that's worthy of a title shot? Like, maybe we could do a fatal four-way? Maybe we could find one? Maybe that would be interesting content? Maybe that would kill some time on SmackDown? We're going to establish the next number one No, I'm not going to do any of that. Instead, we're just going to have Miz and Morrison do a dirt sheet, have a match, get upset, issue a challenge, and it gets accepted. That is madness. That is madness. That's it. I mean, they're a tag team as well. Oh. Well done, WWE. I mean, you've got to give them credit because no one saw that come in. No one saw that come in. Days, do you watch Ring of Honor? No. And what channel is AEW? I watch it on Fight TV. In regards to Ring of Honor, I know a bit about them because they are working with NWA at the moment. So I know a little bit about them, but I think their shows are cancelled the same as the NWA. So, but before they got cancelled, I wasn't watching them though. But I would definitely cast an eye over them. Coast Maniac says, do you remember when the women split the women's title? Lay cool. I do. I wasn't a fan of that. Layla and Michelle McCool, and they had the title actually cut in half with like a zigzag going through the middle of it, and they both had a half each. I mean, that didn't bring prestige to the title, in my opinion. And if Miz and Morrison are going to do that, no, awful. Of all the stories you could tell, of all the things that you could do. Right, AJ in the ring. Days, what's thoughts on Cena possibly being the SmackDown hacker? I don't. There's nothing to suggest he is. I don't believe he is. Right, Nakamura making his way. I hope they give this match some time. I mean, AJ Styles versus Nakamura is an incredible match on any card. You could put this on WrestleMania. You could put Charlotte Bayley on WrestleMania, and you could put AJ Nakamura on WrestleMania. In fact, they did. I'm sure, wasn't it Nakamura versus AJ at like WrestleMania 34? Maybe 35? Incredible. How I just don't get it. How are we getting Braun versus Miz and Morrison when they've got the likes of Nakamura on their roster? The hacker could be Robert Roode. This should be a really great match. Completely agree. Wrestling Days fan says yes. WrestleMania 34. Amazing. Right, here we go. Nakamura backed up into the corner. So AJ already driving Nakamura back. Winner of this match will face Elias. So you would think whoever wins this is getting to the final. I mean, honestly, this could be a number one contenders tournament, couldn't it? They could have done this as a number one contenders tournament. So they're already hooked up. AJ back against the ropes. Nice headlock by Nakamura. Already taking some lovely scrambling. And he managed to get around the back of AJ, but AJ reversing it. Managed to get Nakamura's arm behind his back, but a back elbow. And AJ managed to get the head. So these two just constantly reversing each other at the moment. As we said, it should be a really, really great match, this. Undertaker Last Ride, Chapter 3, available this Sunday. Balor Club says, shouldn't Sheamus win the IC tournament because of him being a world champion and looking like a beast? I don't know. His world championship runs were a while ago, and his booking since has kind of suggested he's fallen off the pace. They haven't done anything to suggest that he's back to being a contender, in my opinion. He's been out of the main event scene for a long, long time. So I think, he looks decent. He looks like he's definitely someone that could be competitive in this. But I wouldn't say, yeah, that's your guy, that's your favourite. I couldn't say that. I'd have to say, I couldn't say that he'll get past Daniel Bryan, to be honest. He's a favourite. I could see it being... Well, I can't even say he'll get past Jeff. Jeff could get the win tonight. It's a good tournament, actually. Do you know what I mean? Sheamus is going to have to get past Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan, and then potentially Nakamura or AJ. So whoever becomes champ has really earned it. There's no denying that. Whoever becomes champ has definitely earned it. Because this is a tough tournament. Nice enziguri by AJ on Nakamura. Going over to Nakamura, looking for a suplex, but Nakamura lands on his feet, kicks out to AJ. Shout out to DeAndre. Into the corner goes Nakamura. Kick to the back of the head of AJ, who's on the ropes. Nakamura with that sliding suplex, dropping AJ on the back of his head. DJ B Tazzy, we've just gone commercial break. DJ B Tazzy says,
DJ Tazzy is a legend. They donated $10 via super chat. I glad WWE is giving US wrestling. But that title match make no sense. Out of the whole roster that what they came up with. SMH.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. Completely agree. There's nothing that I would disagree with there. It doesn't make any sense at all. Jeff debuts with a Brother Nero gimmick. I don't think so. That's a whole different universe, isn't it? It's all connected with Matt Hardy, and Hardy's not around, so I'm not expecting Brother Nero. I'm not expecting Willow or anything like this. I think they're just going to run with Jeff Hardy as he was. I'm not expecting anything different. Did you hear about Flair's AEW talk? No. But he's just re-signed with WWE, hasn't he? Days, I'm going to still watch Backlash just so I can see the best wrestling match ever, says John. Actually, do you know what? When you think about Backlash, it is an absolute riot already. Isn't it? We've got the best wrestling match ever. That's guaranteed. We've already been promised that. So we're going to be seeing that coming up. That's going to be Edge versus Orton. And then, of course, now we've got Miz and Morrison versus Braun. What incredible. I mean, what are they going to book next? Maybe Mandy Rose versus Otis for the Money in the Bank briefcase? I don't know. I don't know what wacky roads we're going to go down. Incredible. Maybe Izzy versus Nicholas. Who knows? Do you think Nakamura will kick AJ in the balls? He could do. He could do. He is a little tinker, isn't he? He is a little scamp. So he might. I want that belt off Braun and nowhere near Miz and Morrison, says Butter Spark. Willow was separate from the Hardy universe. It was. I still don't think we see it. I think they're just going to keep it the same. Keep him like Jeff Hardy. Trent says, do you think that they could bring back JTG for this occasion or Hall of Fame or Warrior Award? Yes. I do. I think that... I'm not sure I'd put Crime Time in the Hall of Fame. I don't think anyone would complain if Shad went into the Hall of Fame. Well, someone would. I wouldn't. I just think that he represents all the qualities. You know, he was a wrestler. He gave his all. Okay, his in-ring career didn't set the world on fire. He wouldn't have gone into the Hall of Fame under normal circumstances, but you know, man, what he did is Hall of Fame worthy. You know, it's beyond that. A lot of people have said maybe the Warrior Award fits better. And I can vibe with that as well. As I said, you'll get no complaints from me. And I'm sure you'll get no complaints from anyone. If he goes in the Hall of Fame, great. If he gets given the Warrior Award, great. He absolutely deserves to be honoured. Because what an incredible person. What an absolutely... It's just incredible. So, yeah, I think you could see JTG coming back and being a part of that induction or giving him the Warrior Award or saying a few words or something like that. There's been a few people saying, should JTG come back as a wrestler? He would have the support of the people. But I don't know. I mean, I think he's in his late 30s. I don't even know if he wrestles anymore. He might have just moved on with his life. It might be something that he doesn't want to do. I don't know. It's a whole separate conversation, that is. But if I was, let's put it this way, if I was running WWE, I wouldn't be picking up the phone to JTG and saying, do you want to come back? It's not about that. Clothesline by AJ and another one as well. Back elbow by AJ and a big clothesline. It was a lovely sequence there by AJ. Very hard hitting, and Nakamura goes down. AJ has got Nakamura up. Oh! Right off the knee of Styles. And he gets a 2. What if Ali is the hacker? I believe he is. AJ is going to win that championship. They did still wrestle as Crime Time on the Indies. I don't know when. Do you know when? He's looking for the calf crusher and he's got it. AJ has got the calf crusher on Nakamura. Oh, it's really locked in. And Nakamura grabbing the hair, the ref having to say to him, don't do that. He's quite close to the ropes and he gets there. Styles has to break the hold. I really hate the rope break, you know. I've started to really hate it. Grab the rope and they have to let go. Forearm strike by AJ. 2. Just a 2. I don't know why. I think if the submission holds in, then you should have to get out of it. Oh, nice. 2. Kick out by AJ. Nice driver there by Nakamura. AJ Styles is officially on SmackDown now. Is he? I didn't know that. So here we go. Nakamura grabbing AJ by the hair. Picking him up. He's got a sleeper hold on. I keep being drawn to Nakamura's crotch as well, because his ring attire is all these lines that are like pointing towards his crotch, the way it's all done. Is that just me? Maybe it's just me. But his outfit is like, it's basically like lines. It might as well be arrows. Just like, woo! A frustrated Nakamura. He thought that he had it there because he was looking for the Kinshasa. He did deliver a knee strike, but he didn't really get all of it. And he's hoping that AJ is going to get up. Here we go. AJ starting to get up. He's looking for that Kinshasa, but AJ reverses, goes for the pin. Kick out by Nakamura. He has got his shoulder up. He's trying to grab the arm. Triangle. Oh, look at this. Got a triangle. Could that be a new Nakamura finish? No. So he had he's got a triangle applied, but oh, no way! Yes! Incredible. That's incredible. That's incredible. That's a triangle. Look at this. It's absolutely choking him out. AJ gets up to his feet, turns it into a Styles clash, but some kind of a modified Styles clash. And goes for the pin and only gets a 2. That is how you start making great matches. Those kinds of moments. Properly invested in this now. That submission hold turned into like a modified Styles clash. And only got the 2 from it as well. Goes into the corner. AJ to the outside. Forearm strike. What if this goes to a draw? What if we get to a time limit draw? This could be like a 15-minute time limit draw. Nice top rope enziguri by AJ. Nakamura down in the ring. AJ looking for phenomenal forearm. Connects. Nakamura down. 1, 2. There's no draw. There's no draw. AJ Styles wins. Incredible. That was brilliant. The end of that was great. Oh, that was good, that was. Some really good moments there. AJ wins. He has AJ Styles. So it's going to be AJ versus Elias. Do feel for Nakamura because he is a great wrestler. Former IWGP heavyweight champion. But of course, so was AJ. Let's take a look at the updated bracket. AJ faces Elias. Sheamus and Jeff Hardy still to come. Winner faces Daniel Bryan. This is the house that AJ built. Very true, Josh. Very true. Later tonight, we've got Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. We're already 40-odd minutes into the show. Four times a year. So, only 4 times a year. So, we're just seeing last week. Bayley says enough talk. Interrupting Sasha. Jeff had better win, says General Snotty Notty. Hunter says, Days, who would win, AJ or Chris Benoit in a match? Very difficult. Very difficult to say. I feel like both in their primes. I would probably say Benoit. Sasha says, I've got the perfect idea, but Bayley slightly interrupts. Bayley says, I don't want you in my corner. People think I can't win without you. Bayley says, why give them any reason to believe what Charlotte is saying? Bayley says, I've got this. So, champion versus champion coming next. No Sasha at ringside this Monday. MVP's VIP Lounge welcomes Drew McIntyre. Perhaps at Backlash, we're going to get Drew McIntyre versus Brandon Vink and Shane Thorne in a handicap match for the WWE Championship. We've also got a triple threat. Natalya versus Nia versus someone else for number one contender. I did write it down. Charlotte versus Nia versus Natalya. Number one contenders match for Asuka's title. Right, let's change this over because it's not AJ Nakamura now. Charlotte. This has been an all right show. It's been all right. not a big fan of the dirt sheet. Really not a big fan of that announcement that came out of the dirt sheets. So, God, I wasn't a fan of the start of this show. But that last match I thought was really good. Really good. And now we've got Charlotte versus Bayley. So, and we've still got Jeff Sheamus to come as well. And I'm still hoping we get something from the Hacker. Because it doesn't look like we're getting the Fiend this week. That British guy, 76, says, I'm starting to think that soon Charlotte will hold all 3 women's belts at the same time. Jez says, Days, thoughts on Titus O'Neil getting his long-awaited push for a mid-card title? Is he? I haven't seen that news. Is he getting a push? I would be all right with him getting a push if it was booked well. But, do you mean Apollo Crews? Because Apollo Crews is getting a push at the moment and is involved with the US title. That's not Titus. Unless Titus is getting a push soon as well. Finn Does Fortnite says, do you know that feeling of sneaking past your parents' bedroom at 3 a.m. to go to the toilet whilst the pay-per-view is on? No. No. Name the superstars that have let the Fiend in so far. Well, by the looks of it, you would say Finn, you would say Seth. Maybe, I don't know if the Miz has. Don't think the Miz has. Finn and Seth, by the looks of it. Doesn't look like Daniel has. He's going to win the US title. Sasha is going to turn tonight. Baszler has beaten Natalia twice and isn't in the number 1. Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Oh, it doesn't make any sense, does it? This is one of... I really think this is one of their big problems. The greatest wrestling match ever! Yes, 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 yes! Yes! Ah! The greatest... Oh, it's going to work as well. It's so going to work. Because we're all talking about it. We all can't figure out why they're doing it. But we're all going to watch it to see if it is. And of course it's not going to be. But we're still going to watch it. The greatest wrestling match ever! Yes, 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 yes. What if it's not, guys? What if it isn't? Imagine the disappointment. Imagine all the kids. How is that the tagline? Right. What do we think about the Hacker here? What do you think about the Hacker revealing the truth? A 12-time world champion. That's what winds people up. The fact that she is a 12-time... By the time she's finished, she's going to be like a 120-time world champion. Bayley coming out. All in black. I'm so up for this match, but I genuinely don't think this match is going to be a straight contest between the two of them like you'd get on pay-per-view. I don't think this match is going to be like what we just saw with AJ and Nakamura. I'm expecting some skullduggery. Bayley just having a listen at what Michael Cole is saying, and she heard him say that she is a great champion. She's like, yeah. I love her interaction with Michael Cole. I like Bayley. I like heel Bayley. Sandman882 says, watch Randy Edge actually be the greatest match. Yeah, it's going to be. Right, the bell has sounded. Are we going to get Hacker McHackerson? Is Hacker McHackerson going to get involved in this? Charlotte, Bayley, hooking up. Knee to the midsection by Charlotte. Ah, big chop by Flair. There's no denying that they're really working hard at establishing Charlotte as the GOAT. Now that Becky's gone, they're really doing everything they can to get Charlotte onto all of the shows, put her into multiple matches. I mean, we've seen Charlotte facing Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim, Io Shirai. Now she's here taking on Bayley. So they're really putting her on all the shows, really giving her a lot of exposure. Here we go. Charlotte hooking up. And it is working. She is the biggest female star in wrestling right now, Charlotte, for my money. Because of all of that exposure. She's not the best. Back elbow. But all that exposure, I say, definitely is working. Shout out to Sunny. Bayley using the middle ropes as she was going for a pin there. Bayley going over, gets taken down by Charlotte. Now Charlotte using the ropes. I mean, this is weird because it is heel versus heel. It is a bit strange because they're both healing on each other. I don't even know who I'm rooting for. I think I'm rooting for Bayley, I think. Kick to the midsection. I'm rooting for the Hacker. That's who I'm rooting for. Coaster Maniac says, I think the Hacker stays in his parents' bedroom, his parents' basement tonight. Also, if the match isn't the greatest ever, I want a refund. Maybe it will be cinematic. Maybe it'll be cinematic. Against the ropes goes Bayley looking for a slide, but Charlotte moves out the way. Both are on the outside. Bayley going over to the ring steps. Irvin says, who is the best if not Charlotte? Asuka. Asuka's the best wrestler. Asuka's a better wrestler than what Charlotte is. Oh, Charlotte grabbing Michael Cole's headpiece. She's telling Sasha to come out. She's saying to Sasha, come on out. I think we're going to go to commercial break, and we do. Days, how you doing for the tournament? I want AJ versus Jeff final, and I think that Jeff should win to complete his redemption, says Liam Costa Costa. Shout out to you. Michael says, Sasha might see the Hacker on her monitor. That's a very good point. We did just briefly see Sasha watch him backstage. Maybe the Hacker will interfere there. But Charlotte just grabbing Michael Cole's headpiece, talking into the microphone, saying, Sasha, come on. If anyone else was in Charlotte's position, people would still complain. I like Charlotte. I've got no problem with Charlotte. I think she's a very good wrestler. I think that she carries herself like a champion. She doesn't wear her own merch. She's told that story before about how Ric Flair says, you know, you dress in robes. Let other people wear your merch. You dress in robes and look like $1 million. And that's exactly what she tries to do. So I very much appreciate Charlotte. I think she carries herself like a champion. I think she's excellent in the ring. No denying that. She has great matches, good promos, works hard. I think the problem that people have got with her is that she keeps getting given opportunities. But she's a heel. Do you know what I mean? Like when she was thrown into the main event of WrestleMania. That's a prime example as to why people don't like her. But she's a heel. Plus, also, she has had way too many World Championship reigns. Way too many. But is that her fault or is that creative's fault, you know? So, yeah, I like her. I rate her. But I can also see why people don't. So we are just at commercial break. Days would love to see the Fiend and Bray square off against each other. If so, who do you think would win? Well, the only way they could do that is if someone was pretending to be the Fiend. Or if somehow the Fiend's Bray's darkness occupied someone else. But I can't figure how that would actually work. So it all depends who else is involved. Shout out to LSW. You can only give so many reigns and runs until people get tired. It's very true. It's very true. I agree. I mean, like, John Cena's on, 16, 17. Ric Flair, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, 16, 17. Then you got Charlotte already on 12. It does make a mockery of it. Little advert for Total Bellas. We still haven't had anything to do with Shad. I'm guessing they're going to dedicate a part of the show to him. They better. Oh, they better. The backlash if they don't. So, headlock by Charlotte on Bayley, and she's trash-talking Bayley as well. She's saying to her, come on, Bayley. Sasha watching. Shaking her head. Hashtag champion versus champion. Okay, Bayley into the corner. Big chop by Charlotte. Bayley goes down. And here we go. Charlotte dragging Bayley over to the corner. Charlotte going up. Middle rope. Top rope. Bayley popping up. Pulling Charlotte's legs so that she can't do that moonsault. Because you know that's what she was going for. Bayley charging over, but Charlotte getting her knee up. Bayley goes down. We know that Sasha is watching backstage. Charlotte running, going after Bayley. Bayley moving out of the way. Charlotte goes to the outside. She's trying to drag Bayley over to the corner so she can wrap her leg around that ring post, but Bayley fighting her off. Bayley sliding through the ring, but gets caught with a forearm strike. Still no sign of Sasha. Still no sign of the hacker. But these two fighting on the outside as Charlotte goes into the barricade. Bayley driving Charlotte into the edge of the ring. Yeah, Bayley wanted to get a count-out win, but she hadn't done nearly enough damage there. Irvin, shout out to you, my friend. Irvin Berrios Sintron. Irvin says, I would agree that she's more entertaining to watch. She does great character work, but Charlotte is more imposing and more believable as a main Triple H-like big boss character. I would agree and disagree. So I'm with you. The reason why I agree is because I think the way they're using Asuka at the moment is in a comedy role, in a way. You know, having her dancing around and everything. But actually, when she was down in NXT and she had, like, you know, all the robe and all this, and she wasn't dancing around quite as much, she was the big boss character down in NXT. She was on that streak, you know, who was going to finally beat her. And she was dominant, and she was just beating people left, right, and Buffalo, and she really was the end boss. So she has got it in her to be that character. But the comedy version of Asuka has actually got her over more recently. So I think that's why they're just embracing that at the moment. But you're not having Charlotte dancing around and doing all this, you know? So I think maybe she's got it in her.
They donated $10 via super chat. I would agree that she's more entertaining to watch. She does great character work, but Charlotte is more imposing and more believable as a main Triple H-like big boss character.
Character. I don't think it said character correct there. Character. Yes. Yeah, as I said, I agree. And I agree right now, but I do think Asuka has got it in her to play that role as well. Right, forearm strikes coming in by Charlotte. Bayley driving the shoulder into the midsection. Bayley rolling away. Going a bit old school here. Woo! Charging over, but wow, she just got thrown into the corner face first into that middle turnbuckle. That was quite vicious from Charlotte. Backbreaker. Threw her into the corner. It was lovely. Really hurled her hard there. Still no Sasha, still no Hacker. We're into hour number 2. You can see that this match is designed to get people to stick with it. Big boot! Big boot by Charlotte. Kick out by Bayley. Smile on the face of Charlotte. She's certainly enjoying herself. She went for that moonsault. No one home. She landed on her feet, delivered the big boot, and ended up just getting a 2. This is a good match. It's a good match. Stomping away. Champion versus champion. Imagine if Asuka was in this as well. You had Charlotte versus Asuka versus Bayley. What a match. Quick kicks coming in by Bayley. And nice. Stunner through the ropes. Charlotte slumped down. Bayley dragging her over to the corner. I mean, what Bayley is doing so far is showing that she can hang with Charlotte. Running knee. I love that from Bayley. She just shouted at the ref. I think the ref says you need to give her some room or back off. And I think she said, I've backed off as far as I can be. And then she went running in and delivered a knee into Charlotte's face. Bayley going up top. Comes crashing down, trying to deliver an elbow, but Charlotte gets the knees up. Here we go. Takes it down, looking for... Oh no, gonna look to turn it into a walls. She's got her into a walls. The walls of Charlotte Co. Yeah, she's screaming to Bayley, but Bayley flips her over, looking for a pin, but a kick out by Charlotte. I'm really enjoying this match. It's a really good match. Bayley moves out the way. Charlotte goes face first into that middle turnbuckle. She's looking for the pin. We're just getting a replay here. Bayley going up top. Bayley perched, looking to drive the elbow. Connects, going for the pin. 2. Oh, shoulder up by Flair. Bayley's like, okay. Corey Graves says Bayley should be concerned with Charlotte, not you, Cole, because she's shouting over at Michael Cole. These two are trash talking each other. Big chop coming in from Bayley now. Charlotte's like, beat me, come on. Charlotte asking for more, and Bayley's chopping away. This is great, man. This is great. Woo! She's going for the... Oh, boom. She went for the figure 4. Charlotte punched her right in the face. Charlotte's not going to appreciate all those chops, the wooing, and the figure 4/figure 8 attempt. And as a result, she is on fire. Look at these chops coming in from Charlotte. Absolutely battering. Battering. Bayley. NXT, I agree. And here, her first run on the main roster was great. Oh, Bayley reversing. Oh, Bayley got it. Bayley got the win. She was holding the ropes. Charlotte laughing. Bayley with a big win. I thought there was going to be skullduggery. I thought Sasha was going to get involved. I thought the hacker would get involved. There's blood. There's blood in the mouth of Charlotte there. Look, Charlotte rolls up Bayley. Bayley manages to roll. She tries to grab the trunk. She tries to grab anything she can. She ends up grabbing the ropes. Bayley with a big win there. That really is going to help Bayley. Ref was trying to put her arm up. Bayley's like, this one, hold up this one. Bayley saying, look at me. What, does she want a microphone or something? What's Charlotte calling for? Or Charlotte's got a smile on her face. She's like playing air guitar. Bayley on the ramp. Sasha, I love you. That's great. That was a great match. The right result as well. That helps Bayley more than it helps Charlotte. Whew. That match, great match, says Sandman. That match was also good, says Monica King. Really enjoyed it. No hacker. No Sasha. I don't know what's going on. Is this going to be another week where we don't get no hacker or no Fiend or no turn or... I can't figure it out. Right, we are... Oh, get your halftime scores in. Get your halftime scores in. Swamp Manor says the hacker is a stupid storyline. Chalmers says 675 for halftime. Miss Clown 1, shout out to you. Kyle O'Reilly does the air guitar way better. Yes, he does. LSW says loved that match. Same. Hard hit him. Mosine says a 0. Chapter 3 of Undertaker is this weekend. Sonny Wolf is on the kitchen floor eating cereal. Shout out to you. Lots of 7s, 6s, 5s, 9s, 6.5, 9, 7, 8s, couple of 8s and 9 in there as well. 6.5, 6.5. Miss Cloud says, I can't get no hacker faction. I can't get no banana hacker faction. Banana. 5 out of 10 says Sonny. Raphael says 10 out of 10 Bayley won. Michael says 7.5. It could be better. Days, will we ever get Demon versus Fiend? I'm sure one day. 8, 7.25 from Monica King. Kato says 3. Javon says a 1. But a few 6s and 8s and 7s. Very good match, says Adam. Love that match, says Shantae. Do you remember R-Truth's gimmick? R. Ziggler. Oh, Coast Maniac says Days hyped something big. He had feelings about tonight. Still hoping, by the way, so far 2 out of 10. I did have feelings about tonight. Just had that gut feeling that there was gonna be something. I don't know. That feeling's starting to dwindle, starting to diminish. I mean, we've seen Braun. There was no Fiend. We've seen Sasha. There was no turn. I don't know. Really felt like we didn't get anything last week, so they're going to have to give us something now. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's got to be something for us to be talking about. But in all fairness, we've just had 2 great matches. 2 great matches. That should be the Hackers entrance. It should. You're right. What if the hacker is Mick Jagger? No one's ever said that. What if the hackers are actually the Rolling Stones? Right, here we go. We're going back. Backstreet's back. All right. We're going back to the Actione. I think the show's about 7. Oh, backstage, Bayley is being hugged by Sasha. Bayley says, "You didn't think I could do it, did you?" I knew that you knew that I knew I could do it. Okay, here we go. Sonya Deville making her way down. She says, I'm just joking with you, dog. I knew that you knew that I knew that I could do it. I'm here to show the world. Bring it on. Right. Otis Mandy versus Dolphin DeVille. Dolphin DeVille. Sonya Deville coming down. She's got this Matt Hardy-esque entrance jacket. You know, like a long black... don't know what you'd call it. I've gone with jacket. It's a bit Undertaker-esque. She's like the Lady Taker. That's what she is. Sonya Deville is channeling her inner Undertaker. Oh, man. I hope she starts coming out to gongs. Mandy. Here's Mandy. Oh no, something's gone wrong. She had some jeans and something's happened to them because she's got the top part, but the legs are missing and you can still see the pockets. I mean, if she's going to put anything in them pockets, you're going to be able to see exactly what it is. I don't even know if those pockets are practical. I feel like it looks quite silly. Otis is here with his Money in the Bank briefcase. He's helping his Peach up into the ring. I mean, if I was Otis, I'd be buying Mandy some new jeans. Yeah! Right, mixed tag match. I've got to tell you, Tucker is looking better than ever. I have never seen Tucker of Heavy Machinery looking as good as this. So, Mandy and Sonya are going to be starting us off. You know nothing. They are fashion. What? They're meant to be that way? No. I think she packed some jeans. They got damaged, and it's all she's got. It's starting us off with a bit of a, oh yeah! A bit of a, oh yeah! Yeah! He is loving it. And why not? He's got Mandy Rose. He's got the Money in the Bank. Here we go. Otis backed into the corner. A little bit of a hip shake. Collides into Dolph. Oh, yeah! Bit of slappage. Dolph tags in Sonya, so that means that Mandy has got to come in. Sonya driving at Mandy, driving her back into the corner. I just feel some way Mandy will cost Otis that Money in the Bank briefcase. It would be a shame, though, wouldn't it? It would be a shame if we sacrificed the Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in, which we all enjoy. If we sacrificed that for this storyline. Ziggler running around the outside, grabs the ankle of Otis, pulls him off the ring apron, and Otis goes hard into the ring steps. Oh, yeah! So Otis down on the outside. A very concerned Mandy Rose is checking on... What does she call him? Has she got a nickname for him? He calls her Peach, but what does she call him? Otis. Mandy gives me Tori Wilson vibes. Fuck the Great says, just so you know, Dolph was in a rivalry with Lana versus Rusev and Summer Rae. Hey, Days. I have a feeling the hacker is actually a female as it targets females. Weren't they talking about a new role for Renee Young? Renee Young, yeah, I can't see it, to be honest. Plus, we don't know that they're targeting females at the moment because they've only targeted one. And that, in fairness, they were females. It was Sonya and Mandy, but it's been heavy teasers about New Day and Miz and Morrison and things like that. So we don't know. We don't quite know who the next victims are going to be, what the next truth is that's going to be revealed. I would be very surprised if Renee Young was involved in that. Especially considering she hosts WWE Backstage. You know, can she really be the hacker and then also be the host of WWE Backstage? Don't know. She says that she wants to be a manager. She's open to being a manager. Sonya is the new Victoria. Who won, Team Otis or Team Dolph? We're just at commercial break. Big Beefy Otis says, see you in hell. See you in hell, Yowie. See Wrestling, I can see you there. Shout out to you. Monica King says, do you think we'll see Tucker again? If so, when? I think we will. I don't know when. I've heard is injured at the moment, so I'm not sure. Depends how long he's out for. Sahil says, Days, do you think that Vince doesn't like Shayna? That's why he's not pushing her towards the title. That is a rumor, but it's hard to know. It's hard to know where the truth lies. We don't know if he doesn't like her or if it's just a case that there's a lot of moving parts. Do you know what I mean? I mean, what with Becky leaving, what with coronavirus, what with not knowing about Ronda coming back. It must be quite hard to book Shayna. Because I don't think Shayna is being booked because of Shayna. There's a lot of things around Shayna. Ronda in particular. Becky as well, you could say. So I kind of feel like there's a few moving parts. And then just, you know, to add on top of that, you've got the whole COVID thing. So I don't know. I can't quite read it. Can't quite read it as to what's going on with Shayna. She'll be a big player for a long time to come, so I wouldn't worry about it. Right, we are back. We've got just over 40 minutes to go. Penelope Ford is going to replace Britt Baker tomorrow. Yeah, don't forget, we are watching AEW Double or Nothing tomorrow. We have got that big live stream tomorrow. Very much looking forward to that. Hello to Wowie Yowie. Bo Dallas is the hacker, and the Fiend is going to cost Jeff tonight. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Right, big right hand by Mandy on Sonya. Takes down Sonya, goes for the pin. Kick out, kick to the midsection by Sonya as well. Dragging Mandy. Mandy trying to make the tag. Oh, yeah! Come on, baby. Is shouting words of encouragement to his peach. Otis is trying to support Mandy. Sonya, kick to the midsection. Mandy Rose down. Days, should I watch the live stream? Yes, you should definitely watch a live stream. Sonya getting in the face of Otis. Some big kicks coming in by Sonya, right in the boob, and pushing the head of Mandy. Sonya talking some trash to Otis. Going against the ropes. Oh, knee strike by Mandy. And Otis is trying to encourage Mandy to make that tag. Both women are down at the moment. We got 39 minutes left of the show. Come on, baby! Desperately trying to reach over. Sonya, though, grabbing the boot of Mandy Rose. Mandy kicking Sonya away. Mandy making that tag. In comes Otis. Dolph gets tagged in. So now it's Otis and Dolph. Dolph getting slammed down. Big collision into the corner. Back elbow by Dolph. Oh, gets driven into the corner. Otis running. Collides into Dolph. Dolph goes down. Caterpillar time. Caterpillar time. Here we go. I think, is he calling for it? And then Sonya gets tagged in. He got himself all worked up. He got himself ready to go. And then he has to leave the ring. Coaster Maniac says, has Otis opened his case? Maybe the IC title is in there. Yeah, he has. He says that he's got sandwiches and loads of different snacks in there. Against the ropes goes Mandy. Knee strike to Sonya. We got Dolph and Otis on the outside. Caterpillar, not quite. Double underhook. Couldn't quite get anything going there, Mandy. Gets kneed in the back of the head. Sonya Deville with the pin. 2, 3, and she gets it as well. Sonya Deville with a knee to the back of the head on Mandy, and she gets the win. Super kick by Dolph. Otis goes down. Who do you think is the hacker? I think Ali and Chad Gable. Do you think the hacker will break up Alexa and Cross? They could do. They're definitely an option. So are the New Day. So is Sasha and Bayley. So is Miz Morrison. Has Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy happened yet? No, it hasn't. Nano Clan it could be our main event. I'm not aware of any other matches for tonight. Right, Dolph's music's playing. Otis and Mandy are still both down in the ring. Okay, we're going backstage. Here's Jeff. Jeff says, 2 weeks ago I asked if we could have one more good run. But now it's a mystery no more. Jeff says that IC belt is very near and dear to my heart. It's the first title I won on my own. Everything would come full circle if I could win that again. I like that. I'm going to start that journey by beating the bully who tried to tear me down. Good? Tonight. There we go. My path to one final blaze of glory runs right through you. So there we go. Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. That looks like it's going to be our main event tonight. Fiend is going to cost Hardy. Could we see the hacker? I just don't know. I just don't know. We're going to wait and see. We are going to wait and see. Okay, John. Sheamus will win against Jeff with his power. But in WWE logic, it might be Jeff. Is tonight the draft? No. Because everyone's saying AJ's been drafted to SmackDown. No, apparently he's been moved to SmackDown. Apparently it was the commentators announced it. Obviously, we have to have the commentary down, so that passed me by. But apparently AJ is on SmackDown now. Days, what matches are tomorrow? You've got MJF versus Jungle Boy, which should be a brilliant match. Elite versus Inner Circle are going to be fighting inside of a stadium. You've got Jon Moxley taking on Brody Lee for the AEW Championship. You got the final of the TNT Championship tournament. The winner will be handed that belt by Mike Tyson. So it's Cody taking on Lance Archer. As well as that, you've got Nyla Rose taking on Hikaru Shida, I believe. So, yeah, there's a few. There's other matches as well. Oh, and the casino ladder match. I mean, we really could see Drew Gulak on the show tomorrow. Or we could see Sting. Or maybe Brian Cage. Or, as Amanda said earlier, Cassius Ohno. So, real potential for some big surprise tomorrow. The Fiend says everything comes full circle, just like Jeff said. DeAndre says, Days, what do you think is the head of tonight's show? Well, Sheamus versus Jeff seems to be the main event. I get the feeling when we go back, they've got to do something about Shad. I've not seen anything about Shad tonight. Not a graphic, no video package, no mentions, nothing. And I don't believe they wouldn't do a mention. I don't believe that. They put a graphic up on Wednesday. So, yeah, I'm expecting something. And I think they'll play a video package. I really do. So I think we'll get that. And then maybe a promo. And then we'll go into Jeff Sheamus. If AJ wins, we could be looking at a 3-time WWE champion. Well, this is for the IC title, isn't it? Okay, we're about to go back. EC3. EC3. And just as you talk about Shad, the graphic appears in memory of Shad 1981 to 2020. Oh, and it was just a graphic. There was no video package. I really thought they were going to go into a video package then. We've got Forgotten Sons promo now. I think that's a bit of a shame. To be honest, I think they could have I think they could have played a video package there. I don't know why they wouldn't. I think that's a bit of a shame. I would have liked more there. I would have liked more. Right, we've got Forgotten Sons. Forgotten Sons on screen right now. I never understand why it starts with this viewer discretion advised. I can only imagine it's because they're ugly. I'm joking, by the way. I think they're fit. I think they're fit AF, yeah. Right, we've gone back to Corey Graves and Michael Cole. There was no need for a viewer discretion at all. We're going to recap how we got to Braun Strowman having his crazy match at Backlash. Isn't this SmackDown pre-recorded? There probably isn't the time. I think you're right, actually. I think it is pre-recorded. But no, they can find the time. You can find time. Find the time. You could have cut out that Forgotten Sons promo. So we're just seeing Strowman from earlier. Not a good show. Oh, I think we've had two really good matches. I think Charlotte versus Bayley was a really good match. I also think AJ Nakamura was a decent match as well. I wasn't a fan of how this show started. And we've still got Jeff and Sheamus to come. There are some easily offended people out there. Who's offended? What's happened? Who's offended? 2-on-1 handicap match. Universal Championship. Are they saying this is the greatest wrestling match ever? Are they trying to say this one is now? I don't know what's happening. Miz saying to Morrison, why did you put me in that match? There's a little bit of arguing here. Here's Renee. Renee saying, Braun has beaten both of you quite decisively individually. Do you think you stand much of a chance together? I'm offended. I think it's terrible you ignore all my risky jokes. Have you been telling some risky jokes? Oh, I'm here for that. Oh, I'm not here for these two. Well, there we go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Miz and Morrison are going to be taking on Braun Strowman in the main event of Backlash. In what could be the greatest ever wrestling match. We've got 27 minutes to go. Are they really going to give 27 minutes to Sheamus and Jeff Hardy? They're showing us Jeff returning a couple of weeks ago. You were asking, why was there a viewer's discretion? Ah, I got you. More words, please. No more words, please. I hope that's not a message to me, AR. You're probably asking for the classic Jeff Hardy theme, or you're just really not enjoying the stream. Jeff Hardy says, in my heart, I know I'm not done yet. Mandy is not Heavy Machinery's Tucker. She's Heavy Machinery's friend. Friend. I think you meant friend. Stupid looking tattoos on him. On what? On Jeff. Jeff is not worth an attack, says Put a Spark. Why is every match being billed as the greatest wrestling match? Because every match is going to be the greatest wrestling match. You're going to see the first match and you're going to go, wow, that's the greatest wrestling match. But then the second match is going to beat it. And then the third match is going to beat it. And then the fourth match is going to be... It's just going to be a night of great wrestling matches. The greatest wrestling matches. It's going to go down as the greatest wrestling event of all time. It's amazing. Can't wait. Viewer discretion advised. I should put that at the start of this stream, shouldn't I? Why doesn't AOP come out with Seth? Because one of them, I can't remember if it was Akam or Razor, one of them is injured. So I think they're just putting the whole team on hiatus. Hi, Days. Would you like the Fiend to say that is not nice to the hacker? Yes, that would make me laugh. If the Fiend addressed the hacker and said that's not nice, then that would give me a giggle. Stop revealing the truth. That's not nice. Right, here comes Jeff. Oh, and it's not No More Words. Da-na-now. I tell you what, Jeff lied to us all. They need to reveal the truth as to what's happening with No More Words. That's what the hacker needs to reveal. Right, winner gets to face Daniel Bryan in the semi-final of the Intercontinental Championship tournament. Ollie says, I know who the hacker is. Right, we're just waiting. We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're just waiting for Sheamus. What are they going to do here? I like how they just showed us Hardy's headshots. I think No More Words will come back once the crowds are back. Okay. SmackDown's been poor tonight. I don't know why I care so much about Wesley Blake from the Forgotten Sons. Brings back memories of Blake and Murphy. Blake and Murphy were a good team. I don't care for Forgotten Sons. Jeff will bring back No More Words at a pay-per-view event or championship match, most likely. Days, will you ever shave your beard off? Yeah. Yeah. The problem is when you shave it off, it just comes back again. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, until it starts becoming a problem, then I just leave it. Rumors are the band broke up. Oh, is that true? That's the rumors. Fun fact, Jeff wasn't a fan of his heel run in TNA because he absolutely loves fans loving him and he felt uncomfortable about being booed. Interesting. Well, there we go. I wonder if he'll be reluctant. No heel turn here then. It wouldn't really... Wow, would it make sense to turn Jeff heel? I don't think it would. I think people really genuinely like him. So I'm not sure it would make sense to turn him heel. Burn about. Days, what was that diaper boy thing? It was just Miz and Morrison making fun of the Funhouse puppets. It was all right. I think, as I said, fair play on paper as an idea. I think it looks good. I think it's the kind of thing that you'd be like, yeah, that would be fun. But it didn't quite work for me. I'm sure there's people that did enjoy it. The only good thing about this show is there is no old day. Do you remember that? Days, what is your favorite John Cena match of all time? Maybe Cena CM Punk. Maybe Cena CM Punk. 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. So I'm pretty sure that, yes, this is the main event. Of course, we'll probably have another couple of commercial breaks. But 20 minutes to go. So what happens here? Fiend will attack Jeff. Fiend will attack Jeff. Why would he go after Jeff? Why would he go after Jeff? I thought that the Hacker might be going after him because the Hacker was talking about redemption. And obviously that's something that Jeff's been talking a lot about. Let's see. Here we go. We're going back. Edge. Orton. The best wrestling match ever. June 14th. The greatest wrestling match ever. So weird. Bum, 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 bum. This is the greatest show! This is the greatest show! What is this music? You know, down in NXT, we have like, yeah, Code Orange and stuff like this, and Poppy, and people like that. Have we just got the theme from The Greatest Showman? This is the greatest show! Let it go! Let it go! What is going on? We're going full on Disney. And this is the greatest show. Oh my God. Perhaps that's what they've done. Perhaps they've looked at The Greatest Showman, right? And they've gone, well, do you know what? That's not The Greatest Showman, but they said it was. So what if we say that this is the greatest wrestling match? It's not gonna be, but we could say it is. Because that wasn't The Greatest Showman. That's where they're getting their inspiration from now. I think Vince has seen one film in his life. And it was the other week. He finally got round to watching The Greatest Showman. And he enjoyed it that much that he's now basing backlash on it. This is the greatest show. Wow. Amazing. He heard Great Balls of Fire, and we ended up getting that as a pay-per-view. And he's watched The Greatest Showman, and now that's inspired Backlash. Right, we're underway anyway. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. First, the greatest match, now the greatest show. This is the greatest show. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Wow. Did not expect things to go that way. Against the ropes goes Jeff, holds on to the ropes as Sheamus comes over, fires strike to the head, knee to the face as well. What have I missed so far? It's been a riot. It has been a Ruby riot. We should start saying that. If Cena wins, I'm going to Ruby. Here we go. Jeff against the ropes. Sheamus puts his head down, gets kicked in the face. He's not going to like that. Forearm strike to the face, gets driven back against the ropes. Jeff Hardy, back elbow. Jeff goes down. I tell you what, they're going to have to go some to have a good match here because Charlotte Bayley was excellent. Charlotte Bayley is my favorite match of tonight. AJ Nakamura was a little bit slow at the start, but really got good towards the end. But this is going to have to be a brilliant match to reach that level. Nice. Hang Sheamus out on that top rope. Daze, do you think the hacker will show? I'm not sure. If Backlash is the greatest show, is WrestleMania the greater show? I wonder if Mauro Ranallo says Mamma Mia because he's basing it off the film. Do you think he's saying that based off the ABBA movie? And now we've got Backlash based off The Greatest Showman. Sheamus getting in the face of Michael Cole. Cole looking fearful. What about me? Wow. Sheamus very upset with Michael Cole because Michael Cole was really promoting and hyping the return of Jeff Hardy. But he didn't really do the same for Sheamus. So Sheamus is upset with Michael Cole. Days, the Stadium Stampede has been taped. It's not live. Okay. No Fiend or Bray. I'm disappointed, says John Cena Gamer. J14 says, I was front row at a WWE live event a few years ago and I touched Sheamus's back. Breaking news. Do you remember Randy's old theme, Burn Into My Light? That was cool. Dave, will you brand your Backlash stream as the greatest stream ever? Yes. Yes, I will brand it as the greatest stream ever. Guys, make sure you're joining us for that. Make sure you're joining us for the greatest stream ever. There we go. Yes. Oh, it's madness, isn't it? It's madness. I can't even figure out what they're trying to do. Coast Maniac says, but what about the greatest Royal Rumble? Yeah, the greatest Royal Rumble. I mean, at least that made a bit more sense because that was it. It wasn't the greatest Royal Rumble, but it was certainly the biggest. It had 50 people in that, so at least they could get away with, greatest Royal Rumble because it's the biggest. So I give them a pass on that. But I can't give him a pass on this. There's nothing... They can't say this is the greatest wrestling match ever. And before it's happened? Before it's happened? How do you say something is the greatest wrestling match ever before it's even happened? It's amazing. I'm going to give up my sleep for the greatest match ever. You can't miss that, guys. You absolutely... It's going to work. I've said before, it's going to work. It's so stupid. It's so outlandish that you want to see what they've got planned. How can they call it the greatest wrestling match ever? It's got to be something planned. But there won't be, will there? They're going to have a match and it's going to be good. It's not even going to be great. It'll be good to very good. And everyone will go, huh. What was that about? What? Days at Extreme Rules, the theme will be from the Cinderella movie. I think you're right, bud. I think you're right. Either that or we'll start going down High School Musical roads or something. I don't know. So Charlotte, Nia, and Natalya are going to face off on Raw. Winner will take on Asuka at Backlash. And that'll be the greatest women's wrestling match ever. Right, how long we got left, friends? We've got 11 minutes. Headlock at the moment. Some vicious talking by Sheamus. MVP's Lounge. Yes, MVP's VIP Lounge is coming up. The greatest trip ever from Titus World Slide. Sheamus driving his knee into the chest of Hardy. Knee right into the face. Here we go, Hardy. Trying to compose himself, going over to the corner. We got 10 minutes left. Elbow strikes. Big strike to the face. Sheamus firing some knees to the midsection, and Hardy goes down. Everyone keeps talking to Michael Cole. Bayley keeps talking to him. Sheamus keeps talking to him. He is like super popular. Yeah, Michael Cole says Jeff looks to be a step off tonight. Sheamus is actually crouching down and just trash talking Jeff. So, Jeff seems to be a touch off. When the going gets tough, well, Hardy is trying to fight back, firing some shots to the midsection. Some strikes to the face, looking for a lovely kick. Love that. Drive Sheamus back. Sheamus charging over. Back elbow by Hardy. Whisper in the wind. So Hardy fighting back into this. Shout out to you, Chalmers. Yeah, it's a fun one. Just looking at different wrestling stages. How long we got? 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Sheamus over to the edge of the ring. Hardy trying to go over, but gets kicked. What's he looking for? Picks him up. Oh, straight across the knee. Lovely backbreaker, but he holds on to Hardy. He's going to look to do it again. Oh, second time. And is he going for a third? He's looking for a third. Delivers that third. Hardy down. Sheamus slowly walking over, looking over at Michael Cole. I gotta say, this feels quite slow for a main event. They're telling a story here at the moment about how Jeff isn't quite hanging. He's not quite at that level. I don't know if he's going to, like, steal a win or something, but... clubbing across the chest of Hardy. Deep breath by Sheamus. He is taking his time. It is quite slow. I think there's going to be quite a few people that are not feeling this main event. Fiend is going to attack. I feel like Summit's going to go down. I do feel that. Sheamus says he's in the best shape of his life. I've got you, Shamo. Yeah, Shamo. Picks up. Jeff Hardy lands on his feet. Kick to the midsection. Big strike by Jeff. Jeff thrown into the corner. Sheamus into the ring post. Michael Cole says this could be the opening. Collides into that ring post. Jeff against the ropes. Big strike. Down goes Shamo. Shamo down. Inverted atomic drop. Nice. Basement drop kick by Hardy. 2. Kick out by Shamo. Definitely calling him that now. Last match was 1 hour, 25 minutes. Kick to the midsection. He was looking for a twist of fate, but he couldn't get it. Sheamus rolls out the ring, and Jeff Hardy goes after him. Into the ring post goes Sheamus. Jeff Hardy now climbing up onto that barricade. Walking all the way along it. Lovely! Comes crashing down onto Sheamus. So Sheamus is down outside the ring. If Jeff Hardy could get in, he might win by count out, but Sheamus is stirring. I mean, not literally. That would be great if he was doing a little bit of mixing. Hardy going up. Sheamus in the ring. Jeff Hardy up top. Looking for a senton, but Sheamus getting the knees up, and he's getting the pin. 2. Kick out by Hardy. Kick out by Hardy. We've just got moments left in this match. Which way is it going to go? Oh, knee to the side of the head, and now he jumps on top of him. 2. Shoulder up again by Hardy. Sheamus not able to put Jeff Hardy away. 1, 2, just seeing a replay. Which way is this going to go? We've got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes to go. Sheamus backed into the corner. He's going to go for a brogue. Jeff Hardy is up. Jeff moves out of the way, ducks underneath. Ooh, roll up by Jeff. 2. Oh, Jeff gets it. Jeff gets it. Jeff rolls up Shamo. Jeff Hardy beating Sheamus. Didn't know which way that was going. It was swinging back and forth. It got quite good towards the end, that match, but it was quite slow for the majority of it. So he goes for the brogue. Hardy ducks underneath. Manages to roll up Sheamus, and it's just a roll up. And there we go, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is going to go on to face Daniel Bryan. And in the other side of the bracket, we've got Elias facing AJ Styles. And those matches, both of those matches are next week. Both semi-finals are next week. There we go, Jeff Hardy standing tall. And that might be it for tonight. I mean, what next for Sheamus? That is that. We've faded to black. Well, that sucked eggs. Yeah, I think as a main event, it was a bit flat. I think most of that match was flat, to be honest. I thought most of the match was flat, but as it got towards the end and they were trading pins, I thought there was a bit of excitement that came in. But, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like champion versus champion should have really main evented tonight. I really feel like the Charlotte Bayley match would have been a... Do you know what I mean? You've got 2 champions facing each other. Kind of feel like that should have been the main event. I don't... Nothing happened. There was no need for Jeff and Sheamus to be the main event. We've said before, though, the way that TV works, you don't necessarily put your best matches as the main event anymore. Like, Bayley and Charlotte was used to get people to go from hour 1 into hour 2, and that's more important. It's weird, isn't it? Nothing in that second hour, I know. I really enjoyed Bayley, Charlotte. I really enjoyed that match. Really enjoyed that match. But I agree, there wasn't really anything in that second hour. I was at a 7 at about the halfway point. I was about a 7. So because there was nothing really in that second hour, I'm going to just drop it a touch. And I'll finish with a 6.5. That feels maybe a little bit harsh, if I'm being honest. Maybe that does feel a little bit harsh. I'm gonna say 6.75. I really enjoyed that match. Bayley Charlotte, really enjoyed it. Right, we're gonna stick around for about 15 minutes. We're gonna stick around for about 15 minutes, so we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Of course, we have got Wrestling Escape Pod that's going to be starting in 15 minutes. This week, it's all about wrestling entrance stages. I want to give people a chance to get their thoughts in, though. 9, it was a great show, says Bembo. Jason says 6.75. John says 4. Ahsoka says 6.85. Sonny Wolf gives it a 5. Mohammed says SmackDown was terrible this week. Michael gives it a 7. Jim Gore says wrestling's most exciting half hour is on now. Raphael says I'll give it 7.5. I agree. Bayley Charlotte was great. I don't get me wrong. I think AJ Nakamura got really good towards the end as well. But another week without the Hacker and another week without the Fiend. I don't understand. I really felt like we didn't get him last week. I really had a feeling we were going to get something big this week. And what with it being champion, and what with them teasing the Sasha thing. Weird. Really weird. It's another week where there's really nothing to talk about. There's nothing, do you know what I mean? Kind of go... People going, what have I missed? Not much. Apart from a really awful Miz and Morrison match being made for Backlash against Braun. Which I'm hoping there's going to be more to that story. I give it a small Steve out of 10. Birch and Lorcan versus Everrise. It was awesome, so I give it 8 out of 10. DJ B Tazzy says 6.5. It was a show. We had a show. 5.9 says D the Beast. With the AEW pay-per-view tomorrow, SmackDown didn't use 2 of their best assets. Perhaps they've just gone, look. Mate, I wonder if the Hacker's going to do something tomorrow. I wonder if there's a way that WWE are going to try and steal the headlines from AEW. 'Cause everyone's going to be talking about Mike Tyson tomorrow. And there's going to be some kind of surprise tomorrow. So I wonder if they've not done something today to do it tomorrow to steal the thunder for AEW. Perhaps they're going to drop like a... I don't know. I can't call it. Or maybe they're just going to give AEW that moment. Maybe there's nothing they can compete with. Can't call it. If I was WWE, I would drop a special video tomorrow, and a YouTube exclusive or something on the Hackers channel. That's huge. That's going to steal some of that spotlight from Double or Nothing. I would do that. I would try and put something that's WWE related into the conversation. Because tomorrow, people are going to be talking about whatever the surprise is, because apparently there's a big surprise tomorrow. There's going to be someone making a debut, we believe, in that casino ladder match. I mean, there's 9 participants. We know of 8. So there's 1 spot left. And there's lots of rumors as to who that's going to be. And it could be Drew Gulak, and it could be Brian Cage, and it could be Cassius Ohno, and it could be Sting. So that's going to steal headlines. As well as that, we also know that we're getting some big matches. We're getting Mike Tyson. That's going to steal some headlines. John Moxley in action. So I wonder if WWE are saving it for tomorrow. Carmen Live 2 says, I give SmackDown 8 out of 10. Shout out to you. Shout out to Hammond, Indiana. What is your favourite Jeff Hardy theme? The one he uses now, or No More Words? I don't really mind, to be honest. I don't mind. I quite like this one. I do like No More Words, but I'm not desperate for it to come back. Kevin says AEW sucks. Jonathan says, Days, let's make a bet. If Miz and Morrison win at Backlash, you shave the beard. No. Hacker could split Miz and Morrison. Next year, Seth won't be big because of Seth and Becky's newborn baby. George Guy says, the wrestling was good in the show. There wasn't really any storyline development, though, so I'm going to give it a 6. Kim says, the Fiend will feud with Jeff one day because Jeff has had his personal demons with alcohol, so the Fiend will bring that up and torture Jeff. That is my prediction. Sonny Wolf with a link to the Wrestling Escape Pod, and we will be going over to there in around about 9 minutes time. We're sticking around here for 9 minutes, and then we are going to jump over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. And as we said, this week, it's going to look at wrestling entrance stages. We're going to be looking at some of the best WrestleMania stages. We're going to be talking about just some of the best stages ever. And there's some really good examples. Obviously, In Your House gets a little mention as well. And there's a few little stories in there. I talk about when I went to Raw and the fact that I was shown and I never even knew until years later. And I actually find the image of me being shown. So you get to see that from 2008. And also Tommy was shown at Money in the Bank. And I found that picture as well. I found that moment. So that's in there as well. So yeah, there's a few fun little stories in there. And it's decent. It's good. So that's following after this. And if you don't get a chance to watch it live, just check it out tomorrow. Check it out at any point. It's all pre-recorded. So it works whenever you watch it. We wanted the Fiend. Oh, Rude Boy says, stop talking about Becky. Hopefully Seth gives Bible studies to his future kid. Because he's the Messiah. Days, when do you think the Hacker will show next? Well, I really thought tonight. I thought we were going to get some tonight. I really did. So I can't say. I can't predict it. I really thought. I had a real feeling tonight. I wasn't lying. I really thought we didn't get anything last week. I thought the Hackers already said time's up. Maybe they didn't give us it last week because they wanted to drop that chess video onto Twitter. So maybe tonight. And it's, I can't believe it. I can't believe we never got anything. So I don't know. Clearly I can't call it. So yeah, we'll have to see. But as I said, maybe WWE are going to want to do something just to disrupt things. Days, what's your favourite Elite figure? The Finn Balor Ultimate Edition. Days, if you could pick 3 people to get a push, who would it be? I would pick Cedric, Mustafa, and Buddy. I would pick Asuka, Nakamura, and Aleister Black. And you might say, well, Asuka doesn't need a push because she's the Raw Women's Champion. But I would argue that she did win the Money in the Bank, which was awesome. And that is definitely a push. But she hasn't really done a great deal in the build to this. She's been in that tag team, you know. She was in the Kabuki Warriors and she qualified, obviously, for Money in the Bank. But it's not as if she's been, you know, getting a big push. Hopefully that starts now. But equally, she could lose that title to Nia Jax at Backlash. Do you know what I mean? Like, she could lose it as soon as she got it. So I hope that she has a good title run. So I hope that they do push her. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be giving up on Asuka now just because she's got the belt, because that could go south quite quickly. So I would like to see Asuka, shall we say, continue to get a push. let's say Asuka continues to get a push. I think she deserves that. I think Aleister Black deserves a push-up. And Nakamura, I feel so sorry for Nakamura. He was one of the big players in New Japan. And now he's come over and they just don't know what to do with him. Did Bray show up? No. Days, imagine Orton versus Edge is a 5-second match because of an RKO out of nowhere. Amazing. That would be next level trolling. That's the kind of trolling that I admire. So that would be awesome. Days, do you think the Fiend will have a match at Backlash? It's looking unlikely. Time is running out, and you would have thought the most likely opponent would have been Braun. I mean, even Miz said at the start on the dirt sheet, do you really think that the Fiend is done with you? He actually said that to Braun, and he was talking about the Fiend, and he was talking about how the Fiend's not done with Braun. And by the end of the night, it's Miz and Morrison versus Braun at Backlash. But even by Miz's own words, the Fiend is not done with you. So I feel the Fiend has got to be a part of that match. There's got to be something that's going to happen there. I don't know what's going to happen. Might be really cool, you know. Imagine if next week, this won't happen, but I think it would be fun. Imagine if next week we just see Miz at home with Maurice, and then all of a sudden that doll appears again in the crit, and Miz is like, I can't go through this again, and calls up Morrison and tells them he's out of the match. I can't do it. I can't do this again, and he's out. And now Morrison's on his own against Braun, and he's got to decide: does he go ahead with this match, or is he going to pull out as well? And that would make it a bit more interesting. And the Fiend would be involved then as well. So, but they won't do that. It's too creative. What if WWE just drops the Fiend gimmick like they did with the Rowan Cage story? That would upset a lot of people. Days, when do you think Morrison will turn on Miz? I think it's coming. I don't know if it's going to be a part of the hacker thing or not. But, yeah, I think it's on the way. Bembo Gaming says, I think Morrison will win the Universal Championship at Backlash, but Miz will be jealous and turn on Morrison. Okay. Days, what is your Backlash dream card? I don't know, dude. I think that's a difficult one to do because I think things are just... I don't know why, but everything just seems all over the place at the moment. There's booking that doesn't seem to make a great deal of sense. So you can't quite call it. Like some matches that I genuinely would like to have seen are matches that we have seen. Like I'd be totally down for Charlotte Bayley and we got it tonight. I'd be totally down for AJ Nakamura and we got it tonight. You know, so it's kind of a hard one to call. Yeah, difficult. Chalmers, shout out to you, buddy. Days, give a shout out, please, to KJLSW, John, and me. Shout out to all of you. Days, do you watch 205 Live? I don't. I know that Jim Gore's a big fan. But my problem with that show is it never means anything. Even the superstars on it get frustrated because they do great action. There's great matches. But it never leads anywhere. It never gets pushed. It never gets promoted. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, if a great wrestling match happens and no one sees it, did it ever happen? That's my feeling on 205 Live. Some of the best matches I've seen in the past few years have been on 205 Live. But it's got no hype and nothing. It's a dead brand. So if it's not going to result in anything, then why watch? That's my feeling on it. They should do so much more with it, but they just never have. Right, we need to go. Yeah, we are running out of time. We are definitely running out of time. Right, my friends, we are done. Got to go. Jump over to the Wrestling Escape Pod. If you put it into YouTube, then you will be able to find it. I know that Sunny has very kindly been firing links in as well into the chat. I know a lot of you will jump over there now and join us over there, and the conversation can continue. And of course, you will find Tommy Toy Travels over there as well. And I'm about to jump over there right now as well. To everyone that joined us, thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. We are back tomorrow for AEW Double or Nothing. And let's see what's in store. I'm expecting something big. But I did say that tonight as well, and I was wrong. So maybe I'm going to be wrong tomorrow. I don't know. But let's wait and see. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.